Alfonso Soriano and the rest of the Northsiders get one more crack at Junior Griffey of the Cincinnati Reds. Today at 2 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
The Leadoff Man is brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs.
Here comes the pitch, and there goes a line drive to left field. Swan is after it. He leaps it over his head against the wall. Here comes Gillian scoring. Oakland wins. Jackie Robinson is being pummeled by his teammates.
It's a special day around baseball as we honor the legacy of Jackie Robinson. It's the 60th anniversary of his Major League debut as Robinson broke baseball's color barrier. And today it's all about JR, number 42, as the Cubs host the Cincinnati Reds. Welcome to the Leadoff Man. I'm Len Casper. The sun is shining today. It's still cool. The wind is blowing in. The Cubs with a big 7-0 win yesterday for their first home win at Wrigley under new manager Lou Piniella. But before we get going today, a lot about Jackie Robinson, a tribute when we come back, and some on-field ceremonies as well.
Really hit it, yes, and that ain't all. He's no more. Yeah, yeah, Jack is real good.
Before you order your next beer, consider this. Budweiser still goes to the expense of Beechwood aging, an original old world style of lagering. And Budweiser cares enough to own and maintain world-renowned hop farms. A perfect choice in every corner bar, in every corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
The very thought of you, and I forget to do the little ordinary thing.
Armor All Wax, wipes, and tire shines. Go ahead, stare.
My idea of a symphony? 8 pistons playing the tune my right foot tells them to. Valvoline, 100 years under the hood.
San Diego's feeling the blast of a Chicago spring. The Padres swing by Wrigley for an early season matchup on the north side. Tuesday at 2 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Man. Jock Jones will wear number 42 along with 3 teammates and 2 Cubs coaches here today. It was Ken Griffey Jr.'s original idea. More on that a little bit later. Jackie Robinson passed away in 1972, but his impact on the game and beyond still being felt today. We're going to check out now a tribute to Jackie Robinson produced by Major League Baseball.
When I was about 14, I heard the older people in the projects buzzing about this black man up in Brooklyn called Jackie Robinson. And it got my attention, and I said, well, who is Jackie Robinson?
Pride, resilience, patience. Jackie Robinson had all that. It was meant for him to go first so he could raise the bar.
Jackie Robinson taught most of us, once you put your uniform on, that you owed a certain amount of dignity and respect.
He was the ultimate sportsman. He won the favor of people's hearts because of his manners.
He changed society and gave white people, as well as black people, a chance to re-examine the social order in America.
God bless him, because I don't know what I'd be doing if it wasn't for him taking that step and taking on that adversity for everyone.
What he ended up doing was elevating our national character, and I think everybody owes him a debt of gratitude.
Thank you, Jackie Robinson.
For taking every hard slide.
Thank you, Jackie Robinson.
For wearing number 42. With dignity and integrity.
Thank you, Jackie Robinson, for persevering through it all
and helping us grow as a nation.
Thank you, Jackie Robinson,
for paving the way.
For Hank Aaron.
He did it! He did it! Henry Aaron!
Thank you, Jackie Robinson.
For Frank Robinson. For Don Newcomb.
For Ricky Henderson.
The all-time Major League stolen base leader.
Thank you, Jackie Robinson. For Barry Larkin.
For Rod Carew.
For Andrew Jones.
For Roberto Clemente.
For Sweet Lou.
For Ken Griffey Jr.
Griffey leaps high in the air, and he's got it!
Thank you, Jackie Robinson.
For Willie Horton.
For Billy Williams.
For Bob Gibson.
For Andre Dawson.
For Ryan Howard.
For Maury Wills.
Mr. Cub. Ernie Banks.
Let's play two.
For Kirby.
And we'll see you tomorrow night.
For Ozzie Smith.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
For Garrett Anderson.
For Mike Cameron.
For Tony Clark.
For Carl Crawford.
Under stealing home! Here's the throw to the plate! Crawford stole home!
For Robinson Cano.
For Jermaine Dye.
For Prince Fielder.
That's what I'm talking about, boy! That's what I'm talking about!
For Bill Hall.
A walk-off jack for Bill Hall!
For Marlon Anderson. For Orlando Hudson.
For Howie Kendrick.
For Kenny Lofton.
For Juan Pierre.
For Jimmy Rollins.
For B.J. Upton.
For Ricky Weeks.
For Preston Wilson.
For Sean Figgins.
For Torrey Hunter.
I am Jackie Robinson.
I am Jackie Robinson.
I am Jackie Robinson.
I am Jackie Robinson.
Thank you, Jackie Robinson.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you.
Have you enjoyed a Budweiser lately? Because I can only describe the smoothness you'll get from Beechwood Aging. I can only tell you about the choicest hops. But if you really want to understand what makes Budweiser the king of beers, you have to taste it. Just taste it. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Switch to Valvoline's Max Life, and there's no telling how long your car will keep going. Max Life not only protects against friction, but also leaks, deposits, and sludge, the 4 major causes of high-mileage engine breakdown. Long live your car.
You know how it goes. There's your love life. And there's your life. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast, in as little as 30 minutes for some men, and work up to 36 hours. With Cialis, I can have the option of being ready fast, or have up to 36 hours to relax, knowing I can be ready when the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis?
Because life can be full of interruptions. When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
How do we do the soup, salad, and breadsticks lunch at Olive Garden? Carol serves the salad, the breadsticks in the middle, and the soups as different as we are.
Our unlimited fresh salad, homemade soup, and warm breadsticks lunch, just $5.95, only at Olive Garden.
See Jackie Robinson hit that ball, really hit it, yeah.
What a beautiful day. The sun is shining. It is Jackie Robinson Day, the 60th anniversary of his Major League debut. It's the leadoff man from Wrigley Field. I'm Len Casper, and we're going to now send it over to Cubs public address announcer Paul Friedman for an on-field ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the area behind home plate for a very special presentation. 60 years ago today, Jackie Robinson made his debut with the Brooklyn Dodgers, forever changing the game of baseball. As he crossed the foul line onto the field, he became the first African-American player in modern Major League Baseball history, as well as a beacon of inspiration and hope to all Americans. In every ballpark throughout Major League Baseball today, players and fans are celebrating Robinson and the anniversary of this monumental moment for baseball and for civil rights. The Chicago Cubs are proud to honor Robinson's memory and his impact on the game. Wrigley Field is the only National League ballpark still standing that Robinson actually played in. His Chicago debut on May 18, 1947, marks the largest single-game paid attendance in Wrigley Field history. 46,572 fans were on hand to see the Dodgers defeat the Cubs 4-2. Dodgers executive Branch Rickey signed Jackie Robinson to a historic contract in 1945, laying the foundation for the integration of baseball. With us today to help commemorate this anniversary is one of the grandchildren of Branch Rickey, Jeffrey Rickey Jones. Robinson's courage and grace have inspired and empowered the generations that followed him. Today, his legacy lives on through the Jackie Robinson Foundation, which awards four-year college scholarships to academically gifted minority students. With us to honor Robinson are the following Jackie Robinson Foundation scholars and alumni: Jessica Lane, a senior at Northwestern University; Cody Atkins, a senior at DePaul University; Chalmers English, a graduate of Purdue University; and Ebony McGee, a North Carolina A&T graduate and doctoral candidate at the University of Illinois, Chicago. 6 members of the Cubs are wearing number 42 in tribute to Robinson today. First baseman Derek Lee, outfielders Cliff Floyd, Jock Jones, and Darrell Ward, along with coaches Lester Strode and Gerald Perry. Joining them is Reds outfielder Ken Griffey Jr., wearing number 42 for the Reds. And now, on this very special day, to speak on behalf of the Cubs organization, please welcome Derek Lee.
Thank you. On behalf of the Cubs organization, we just want to say this is an unbelievable day and a tremendous honor for us to be able to put the number 42 on our back. Jackie Robinson is an American hero, and our day is today to celebrate that and learn as much as we can about Jackie Robinson, because he's a true American hero, and we need to learn as much as we can about him. So thank you for joining us in this celebration. Thank you.
As a tribute.
So we are set for baseball today on Jackie Robinson Day 2007. The Cubs host the Cincinnati Reds. Bob will join me. We'll have all the action coming up next.
The leadoff man has been brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs.
Hey, Cubs fans, keep your eye on the ball. Every time a Cubs player hits a homer at Wrigley, you could be a winner. It's the Southwest Airlines How Far Did It Fly Home Run Contest. After every Cubs homer, write down the distance along with your name and address and send it to WGN TV. 10 winners will receive 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination. For every Cubs homer, ask yourself, how far did it fly? From Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the Chicago Cubs.
Bye, hon. Find us a good one.
Bye.
With 2 million vehicle listings to choose from on Cars.com, you can find the right car for you.
There it is.
Find the right car for you. Cars.com.
Why does that bother you?
Why does it bother me? So easy a caveman can do it?
Well, it's just a commercial.
Okay. Well, what if it said, Geico.com, so easy a therapist can do it?
Well, that commercial wouldn't make sense to me.
Why not?
Well, therapists are...
Are what? Smart? My mother's calling. I'll put it on speaker.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The tears, the talent, and the outtakes. American Idol Rewind. Saturdays on Superstation WGN. The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
Live from beautiful Wrigley Field on a very nice afternoon for baseball, mid-April, and we honor the legacy of Jackie Robinson today, the 60th anniversary of his first Major League game as the Cubs entertain Ken Griffey Jr. and the Cincinnati Reds. It's the rubber game of this 3-game weekend series right here on WGN Sports. Welcome to Cubs baseball today. Bob Renly and Len Casper with you. We're going to have the first pitch here in a couple of minutes, but we want to talk about Ken Griffey Jr. because this was a great idea to unretire the number 42, at least for one day, and Jr. originally came up with the idea.
Yeah, I think in this day and age, a lot of players don't know the history of the game. Certainly they don't respect the history of the game, but for Jr. to make this kind of a gesture, reach out to his fellow teammates around baseball to honor Jackie Robinson today, a great move on the part of Ken Griffey Jr.
At a great on-field ceremony just a few minutes ago, Bud Selig, the commissioner, talked to Ken Griffey, and then he opened it up to the rest of baseball. 6 members of the Cubs wearing number 42 today. Now let's go down to the field. God Bless America, followed by our national anthem.
Remove your caps and join the Fontainebleau High School as they honor the United States by first performing God Bless America, followed by our national anthem.
We're set to go. It's Ted Lilly for the Cubs, Kyle Loesch for the Cincinnati Reds. Rubber game coming up next.
Chicago Cubs baseball. Brought to you by refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it. Comcast. Hit a home run with Comcast Digital Voice Home Phone Service. Call today for a great offer. The Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play, play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit southwest.com today.
This new fridge has a touchscreen. I get internet, TV. The coolest part of it is when it's out of Bud Light, it refills itself.
How does it do that?
I don't know.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
I don't know how it does it, and I don't care.
Come spring and summer, our yard is our family room. We sleep in there, but we definitely live out here.
I really just like the feeling of the grass.
We like a healthy lawn, and it's got to be durable, and our lawn really is both.
The healthy lawn means that we can get out there, feel comfortable in the grass.
We use Scott's Turf Builder Plus 2. It feeds the lawn, and it kills dandelions.
We hate dandelions. We don't like to have them around.
I got some good old-fashioned grass stains on my pants. That's a sign of a good day. We had a lot of fun. I want to do it again tomorrow. That's our Scott's lawn.
Everyone has their routine. It's the same old stuff. Nothing new. Well, it's time to shake things up. Put some bada bing into your day. Even kick up your heels. The cure for looking good is laughter. So laugh it up with America's Funniest Home Videos. Weekdays at 3. Then get hit again. Weeknights at 7. America's Funniest Home Videos on Superstation WGN.
Today's broadcast of Cubs baseball from Wrigley Field on WGN Sports, presented in high definition, sponsored by Comcast, and brought to you in 5.1 Dolby Surround Sound. Fans taking the field with the Brooklyn Dodgers number 42 jersey on, and getting a signed baseball from the Cubs players as well. What a great day. And the game-worn number 42 jerseys will be autographed and auctioned off on MLB.com to benefit the Jackie Robinson Foundation. Let's check in on Jerry Naren's Cincinnati Reds starting lineup. They come in at 6-5. Friel, Phillips, and Dunn. Jeff Conine, good career numbers against Ted Lilly. Griffey's in right. Edwin Encarnacion at third, Juan Castro at short, David Ross and Kyle Loesch make up their battery.
And here's how the Cubs take the field defensively today behind Ted Lilly. Brought to you by Pepsi, your world, your Pepsi. Floyd, Soriano, Jones, all wearing number 42 across the outfield. Ryan Theriot at third base once again. Cesar Izturis at shortstop. Mark DeRose at second base back in the lineup. Feels a lot better, and the numbers against Kyle Loesch, 6 for 8 lifetime, makes him feel better. He's back in there. Derek Lee at first base. Michael Barrett behind the plate today, and the left-hander Ted Lilly taking the mound, coming off a couple of solid outings to start his Cubs career. Beat this Reds team earlier this season 4-1, went 7 strong innings, gave up only 3 base hits. Was very good last time out against the Astros as well.
And we also have been told a late scratch for the Cincinnati Reds. As we check out the umpires today, it'll be Doug Eddings back at the plate. Dana DeMuth, the crew chief, at first. Darrell Cousins works second, and Kerwin Danley at third. Adam Dunn is out, and Josh Hamilton in. Back spasms. And Adam Dunn out of the lineup, so Hamilton will bat third and play left. So here's Ryan Friel to start it against the left-hander Ted Lilly, and he looks at strike one. Fouled back. 50 degrees straight up as we get started. The wind's out of the north at 10. And, of course, they've now shifted. Well, that's what it was 45 seconds ago.
Stick around. If you don't like the wind blowing in from right field, hang around for a few minutes. It may turn around.
The wind and the 0-2 pitch is driven down the right field line, but it slices foul and drops out of play. This is a good matchup on paper with the Cubs going with back-to-back left-handed starters. Rich Hill combined on a shutout yesterday. The Reds are just 1-4 against southpaws. So coming right back with Ted Lilly today. Quietly dominating is how we put it. And a swing and a miss. Creel is out on strikes.
Well, Rich Hill didn't have his best stuff yesterday, but found a way to win, which is a real good sign in the maturation process of a young left-handed pitcher in the major leagues. 2-0 record, ERA of 0.64. And look at his last 8 starts going back to the second half of the season last year. He has been outstanding.
I talked to him today about kind of getting through it. He walked a few guys, and he went back to his time with Greg Maddux. And Greg said there will be about a half dozen starts that you'll have per year that could go either way. And he just decided he was going to get through it, and he did with flying colors. Swing and a miss by Phillips. So Ted Lilly firing strikes early on.
Yeah, different pitching coaches and pitchers will use different numbers, but over the course of a season, you're going to have a number of starts where you have A stuff and you feel great and you go out there and just dazzle. You're going to have a number of starts where you go out there and have absolutely nothing and feel terrible. But those starts in the middle where you might have your good stuff, but you don't feel like you do, or your command is good, but your stuff isn't that good on a given day. Those are the days that you have to find ways to win a ball game, and Rich Hill starting to show some signs of being able to do that.
The next time through the rotation, the lefties will stay back-to-back, but they won't face the same team. Hill will face Atlanta on Thursday, and Ted Lilly will see the Cardinals on Friday. And after that, Lou said he can maybe put Jason Marquis in between like they did to start the year. In the dirt. And 2-2, they're going to check down, no swing, according to Dana DeMuth. A wind and the pitch and a high drive. Flip downs working for Soriano as he makes the catch for the second out. Juan Pierre with the flip downs last year with the Cubs, but not too many guys use those anymore.
And you know, that's a pet peeve of mine. You know, the new wraparound shades look really cool, but when you have to wear them up on top of your hat as the sun goes behind a cloud, it makes it pretty tough to chase a pop-up, take your glove off, pull the shades off your hat, put them on, and then find the ball once again. So there's a reason they invented those flip downs.
So a late entry into the lineup for the Cincinnati Reds, Josh Hamilton. He's in there for Dunn. Cliff going with the shades throughout. We'll see if he has them on when he bats. A lot of guys will just wear them the entire day, even at the plate. Fouled off to make it 1-1.
Yeah, I don't have a problem on a bright sunny day wearing the shades as Cliff Floyd is out there in left field, but as we well know here close to the lake, the clouds will roll in on a moment's notice, and if that ball happens to go up in the air as the cloud moves in front of the sun and you have those dark shades on, it may be tough to pick up the ball, or vice versa. If you have the shades on top of your hat and the clouds move away from the sun, it's going to make it tough to track a ball.
Fly ball. Well, the guy we were just talking about, Cliff Floyd, number 42. Old school look with the pants as well. He's going to flip that ball into the seats, and the Cubs will come up against Kyle Loge.
Got an old buddy waiting for a visit in Washington? Fly Southwest Airlines from Chicago Midway to Baltimore, Washington, or Washington Dulles International for just $59 one way. Purchased by May 17th.
You are now free to move about the country.
With 2 million vehicle listings to choose from on Cars.com, you can find the right car for you.
Blue is?
Find the right car for you. Cars.com.
Switch to Valvoline's Max Life, and there's no telling how long your car will keep going. Max Life not only protects against friction, but also leaks, deposits, and sludge, the 4 major causes of high-mileage engine breakdown. Long live your car.
You want to babysit? I can't believe it.
Well, neither can I, but here I am. Wow, you don't look so bad.
On the next Sex and the City.
Tonight at 11 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
A lot of great Jackie Robinson jerseys in the ballpark today. And let's check in on Lou Pinella's lineup for the Cubs against Kyle Loesch. Brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. Soriano, Terrio at third, Jones in right, Derek Lee at first, Barrett, Floyd, DeRosa back in the lineup. Good to see that. Is Torres and Lilly at the bottom.
Take a look at the Reds defensively. Josh Hamilton getting the late start in left field for Adam Dunn. Ryan Friel over in center. Ken Griffey Jr. in right field. Encarnacion, Castro, Phillips, and Conine across the infield. David Ross doing the catching today, as Soriano lifts the first pitch to Ken Griffey Jr. in right field. Ross doing the catching for right-hander Kyle Loesch. Cubs saw Kyle Loesch the last game of the series in Cincinnati. He was very good. He did give up 10 base hits. However, the Cubs were only able to push across 2 runs. They left runners on base every inning of that ball game except for the 9th.
Baby, Josh Hamilton did that for you.
Yeah.
The shades on the bill of the cap.
Hit a fly ball to left.
Called strike on Ryan Terrio. Playing third base, Aramis out of the lineup again with the tendinitis in his right wrist. Maybe he could be ready tomorrow night against the Padres. Kind of a fluky injury. It's something that actually had been bothering him since spring training, but he had played through it no problem, but then got to the park Friday and it was pretty swollen. And fortunately, it's just tendinitis.
It may have been bothering him physically, but it certainly wasn't bothering him statistically. He had a great spring and carried it right over into the early part of the season.
And tomorrow night is the first game under the lights, or at least at night. I think we had the lights on earlier in the week, but it was a day game. And there are plenty of seats available for the Cubs and the Padres tomorrow night, including tickets in the Bud Light bleachers. Weather should hold up. Into right, and it's going to drop down in front of Griffey. So Terrio is 6 for his last 9.
We talked about it during yesterday's ball game. Obviously, the Cubs wish they had Aramis Ramirez playing third base, but Ryan Terrio taking full advantage of his playing time and at bats during this stretch, and dunks one in front of Junior in right field, and let the small ball begin. When you do have Ryan Terrio in the lineup, and yesterday along with Ronnie Cedeno, Cesar Torres, some guys that can do some things with the bat, do some things with their legs, Lou Piniella demonstrated that he can adjust to his personnel.
One and nothing the count on Jock Jones. He has a 7-game hit and run scored streak. So just to mention again, tomorrow night you can visit Cubs.com, go to the Wrigley Field box office, or call 1-800-THE-CUBS for tickets. Cubs hosting the Padres tomorrow night at 7:05. And coming up Tuesday afternoon, we'll have that game here on WGN Sports. Greg Maddux is back with the Padres, and he'll face Wade Miller.
Great stolen base percentage for Ryan Theriot. 16 out of 18.
In the air as Griffey comes over toward the gap along with Friel, and Junior has it, sending Theriot back to first.
At the plate, first baseman, number 42, Derek Lee.
Big 3-run double yesterday, adding some insurance, and number 42 with a 10-game hitting streak. There have been a lot of great stories the last week or so about Jackie Robinson and his big league career. Was a terrific athlete at UCLA. Lettered in 4 different sports. Was a running back in football, played basketball, was a sprinter and long jumper as well.
Jerry Reinsdorf said that several years ago they picked the greatest athlete of the 20th century, and Jerry Reinsdorf said it was really no contest. Jackie Robinson was by far the best athlete of the 20th century. I mean, not only did he compete in all those sports, he dominated all those sports.
Willie Mays with a great quote. Every time I look at my pocketbook, I see Jackie Robinson. 2-2 on the way is low and outside. Full count on Lee. And it's really difficult to find a current player who was as good at so many things on the diamond as Jackie Robinson was. 3-2 with a runner going, and 2 men on as Lee accepts the walk. Hall of Fame in 1962, was the Rookie of the Year. 60 years ago, 1947. And on May 18th, 1947, 46,572 came to Wrigley Field, the Cubs' largest single game paid attendance, to watch Jackie Robinson play his first game at Wrigley. Fouled away by Michael. You heard Paul Friedman, the public address announcer, in the pregame show mention this. I didn't know that. This is the only ballpark remaining in baseball in which Jackie Robinson played. The 0-1 to Barrett. He missed it. 2 strikes from Loesch, who went high on the 92-mile-an-hour fastball. This is his Wrigley Field debut. He was drafted by the Cubs in the 29th round in 1996. Got a no decision against the Northsiders in Cincinnati on April 5th.
That was a game that started in the low 30s with snow flurries throughout the ball game. I mentioned the Cubs had runners on base every inning against Kyle Loesch, just couldn't push across but 2 in his 6 1/3 innings of work.
Lou got his first home win yesterday in the 4th game of this homestand. And it's Lou Piniella bobblehead day. Compliments of Pepsi. Cubs come in at 4-6. Barrett strikes out swinging, and that ends the first inning. 2 stranded, 0-0.
Cindy Present, and this is where it hurts, right in my knees. The pain in my knees feels like bee stings. I tried the Aleve liquid gels. They took my pain away quite immediately. I spent time with my 8-year-old out in the water, took Aleve, and I didn't have any of the knee pain I usually experience. I would definitely recommend Aleve liquid gels.
You know how it goes. There's your love life. Then there's your life. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast, in as little as 30 minutes for some men, and work up to 36 hours. With Cialis, I can have the option of being ready fast, or have up to 36 hours to relax, knowing I can be ready when the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis?
Because life can be full of interruptions. When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
24, Saturdays at 11:30 on Superstation WGN.
Well, the giveaway today, first 10,000 fans getting an exclusive limited edition Lou Piniella bobblehead doll. Compliments of Pepsi.
What do you mean he's out? He clearly missed a tag. What are you thinking about? Pay attention to the game. I can just see Lou's head going up and down.
What are you looking at?
Yeah. As he goes out to argue with an umpire. We'll see that before the year's over.
Whenever there's a bobblehead giveaway, there's always a lot of controversy. Does it look like him? Close enough.
Kind of a generic version of Lou Piniella.
They didn't give him the 5 o'clock shadow that he sometimes has.
Or the gray hair.
Or the gray hair. I'm sure he appreciates. Jeff Conine hits a towering pop fly to left. Caught by Cliff. Here's Ken Griffey Jr. Got a nice hand in the pregame introduction.
Batting next, right fielder number 42, Ken Griffey.
But once the game starts, that changes everything, I guess. He might get a better hand than that.
Well, the fans paid Junior his respects during the on-field celebration before the game, and now he's just a member of the opposition.
563 career home runs for Griffey. A wind by Lilly, check swing. Didn't go far enough. Big night tonight in Los Angeles as the Dodgers host the Padres. Mr. Cub Ernie Banks scheduled to be on hand, along with Rachel Robinson, Jackie's widow, of a big celebration at Dodger Stadium.
Well, and I believe it was George Will's column this morning in the newspaper that related a great story, I think, and speaks to the sense of humor of Jackie Robinson. As he went out his door to catch the subway to the ballpark to play his first game in the major leagues, he turned to his beautiful wife, Rachel, and said, "I'll be wearing number 42. Like there was any doubt which one he was on the field. I think a lot of people say that Jackie, even though he was tough as nails and had to be to go through what he went through, had a great sense of humor and a great joy for life.
First base runner for the Reds, a one-out single by Griffey. Through just 2 starts, so a very, very small sample size, Ted Lilly had allowed just a 191 batting average against, so just 9 hits in 13 innings. He's kept the ball in the ballpark and a very good strikeouts to walk ratio, including the strikeout of Friel. The ratio 15-2 in favor of the strikeouts.
Now, through the early going, Ted Lilly has demonstrated that he can command all 4 of his pitches. He throws his fastball on both sides of the plate, changes speeds with his breaking ball, has a real good straight changeup. And as I said, thus far, he's shown the ability to command all 4 of those pitches.
Encarnacion mired in an 0 for 17. Did reach on a walk yesterday and stole a base. It was officially 0 for 3. It hasn't been a great week for Edwin Encarnacion. He got pulled from the game in Arizona after not running out a pop fly. The 2-1 from Lilly is low, 3 balls and a strike.
If he reacts to too many more called strikes the way he did the last one, it's going to be a long day today too. Umpires don't really like it too much when you call a strike on a hitter and they step out of the box and roll their head and look skyward. They don't mind if you question a call, but there's a proper way to do it, and making a demonstration in front of all the fans is not the way to endear yourself to Doug Eddings today.
Full count. We'll see if Griffey will be on the move. We get signs from Mark Barry over at third. Juan Castro playing short for Alex Gonzalez this weekend. Gonzalez on the bereavement list. Castro on deck. Griffey not running. Called strike 3. So Lilly has faced Encarnacion 3 times, and he has struck him out all 3 times.
Well, when you're mired in one of those bad slumps, it seems like you consistently take the good pitches and swing at the bad ones, and that's what Encarnacion has been doing in this series.
The pitch to Castro is bounced foul. He pulled it.
That gets back to our favorite cliche. You ask a hitter who's going well, what are you doing? Just looking for a good pitch, trying to hit it hard. And at times it can seem that simple, but when you're not going well, usually it's because you're not swinging good pitches.
It seems over the past decade or so, especially with laser eye surgery, there's been a lot of talk about guys' vision. We talk about seeing the ball, that's literal. And some guys see the ball better than others, and we've heard stories about guys trying to work with contacts, glasses, having the laser correction, whatever they can do to increase their ability to see a 95-mile-an-hour fastball or an 85-mile-an-hour slider.
It's one thing to see it, and it's another thing to make the appropriate adjustments over the 0.3 of a second that you have to decide whether or not you're going to swing at the pitch and where it's likely to end up when it gets into the hitting zone. I can see him real good.
Here comes a 1-2. And it's even now, 2 apiece. Ross on deck. And the pitch. Bouncer to third. Terrio takes a short throw to DeRosa at second. Floyd DeRosa and his tourists with their first at bats of the day when we come back.
Every time they get close, within arm's reach, just a breath away, Jack Bauer is always one step ahead.
What I want to know is just a question of how much you want it to hurt.
No one can catch him except you. Catch 24 Saturdays at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN. It's the best season yet.
Okay, I've been working on this plan for 3 years, and today's the day.
Okay.
Every Friday, the same Bud Light delivery guy takes the same route past us.
Okay.
You're the only one who can make the leap.
Okay.
When I say go, you jump over, grab some Bud Light, and jump back.
Okay.
Okay, here he comes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and go.
What'd you say?
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Seriously, what'd you say?
Maybe oil and water don't mix, but oil and blood do. Valvoline, 100 years under the hood.
Hi, can you tell me, how are the rooms at that hotel?
Very nice curtains and TV as video games.
Uh-huh. And the rooms at your hotel?
There's a bed and some tables.
Right.
Want to talk to someone who really knows hotels? Call the experts at Hotels.com. They've got the inside scoop on over 70,000 properties. They're available 24/7, and they'll always find you the best price guaranteed. Just log on or call 800-2HOTELS now. Hotels.com. You know hotels inside and out.
Scrubs, late nights on Superstation WGN.
Jackie Robinson did a lot for the game of baseball, and it's great that he's being remembered and honored on a special day, and it's wonderful to see so many players wear his uniform.
Cubs manager Lou Piniella talking about Jackie Robinson Day. Cliff Floyd wearing number 42, along with Jock Jones, Derek Lee, Darrell Ward, and Cubs hitting coach Gerald Perry, and bullpen coach Lester Strode also wearing number 42. Cliff in his 15th big league campaign. There were rumors a couple years ago that Floyd might have been coming to the north side in a Sammy Sosa deal with the Mets, but it never did materialize. But he finally made it back home.
And hit a line drive in the ball game yesterday that the Reds were still talking about today around the batting cage. Brooke Jacoby, the hitting instructor for the Cincinnati Reds, and Ken Griffey Jr., Jeff Conine. It's the hardest hit ball they have seen in a long time.
It stayed in the air and almost went all the way out to the center fielder, but then dropped right before it got there. And as you said, it never got 10 feet off the ground.
Well, we saw a lot of it down in Arizona during spring training, and we're going to see a lot more of it over the course of the season this year.
So DeRosa back in the lineup. Did not start either of the first two games of this series, although he did appear late on Friday. And he went 0 for 2 and played a little second base.
And I mentioned during the lineups, that back tends to heal up quickly when you're 6 for 8 lifetime against the opposing pitcher, including his first home run of the year in Cincinnati earlier this season.
What was the line? He said, don't try to be a hero in the weight room.
In the weight room.
Yeah, that's what had happened Wednesday on the snow day. He was snowed out against Houston.
I had the snowed out ball game and knew he had an off day the next day, was so doing a little extra work in that weight room, and that's when it happened.
No history of back problems, so you hope it's not something that will be chronic. The other health situation that we haven't mentioned, left-hander Scott Air not here, but we're told he will be released from the hospital today. He was taken to the hospital yesterday, was very dehydrated, some flu-like symptoms, and we hope Scotty's doing all right.
Well, that's scary, and you know it had to be serious to put Scott Air on his back. That's a guy that can handle just about anything thrown his way, so hopefully he'll be back on his feet and down in that Cubs bullpen quickly.
Cubs do have 2 lefties available today, Kotz and Ullman. DeRosa hits it on the ground, and scooting over to his right is Juan Castro to throw him out. Let's meet today's celebrity bat kids, brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. 13-year-old Allie Duas from DeMott, Indiana, and Ismael Gonzalez, 11 years old, from Round Lake, Illinois, having a great time thanks to our friends at Walgreens. For info and official rules of the Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kids sweepstakes, go to WGNradio.com. Brooklyn cap on. Is Torres with the big suicide squeeze in game 2.
Well, and he did about as good a job as a hitter can possibly do. The Reds, I think, had a feeling that the Cubs may try a squeeze. The first pitch to his Torres was well off the plate away. And on the second pitch, David Ross set up way off the outside corner once again. And somehow his Torres jumped out there, fell on the ground as he bunted the ball into fair territory to drive home the run.
Yeah, Bronson Arroyo after the game said, I should have walked him. And they were not trying to throw a strike. As he swings and misses, said maybe we should have called a couple of actual pitch outs, but his Torres was able to go get it. They go 1-2-3 in the second. Still no score after 2.
The tears, the talent, and the outtakes. American Idol Rewind. Saturdays at Superstation WGN.
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits.
Sweet.
Who is it?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
Hello.
Hey, Bert.
Stand up. I've been brushing up on my game.
Think Marcia saw?
Nope. But she'll see this. You see, Gary, while you're playing that football game, I have GameFly. I rent from over 4,000 video game titles online, giving me millions of moves.
Oh, man.
Say it.
GameFly starts for as low as $8.95. Just mail the games back for free and get more. No late fees and cancel anytime. Hey, Marcia.
Product shown rated E through M.
If a Cubs player hits a homer today, write down the distance and player's name and send it to WGN TV. You could win 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination.
Honoring Jackie Robinson, 42. Our friends from High Tops. David Ross is scuffling. 2 for 21. And looks at a strike from Ted Lilly. We're in the 3rd inning. 0-0 tie. Good curveball. The nor'easter has ravaged the East Coast, and a lot of games have already been postponed. The Angels and Red Sox washed out. Royals in Baltimore postponed. National League, Nationals and Mets, Astros and Phillies, Giants and Pirates. And that was supposed to be a doubleheader. So what was supposed to be a very full day of baseball will not look that way in the paper tomorrow. Yeah, I wonder if they have S's out there for snow. I bet they do.
Well, there is going to be a lot of scrambling around to make up some of these games that have been postponed due to weather. And for a lot of those teams, that's the only trip they make into those respective cities during the course of the season. So schedule makers are going to be put into overtime.
Mr. Potato Head here at the ballpark with the Cubs uni on. Dribble toward third, but it's foul as Terrio picks it up. Mr. Super Utility Man, Ryan Terrio.
Well, not only has he been swinging a good bat filling in for Ramos Ramirez at third base, but he's played some stellar defense. He's made some really nice plays. and uses the same glove at third base that he uses when he plays second base, which is a little bit unusual. The glove that second baseman uses is more of a deflector than an actual glove that you try to catch the ball up in the webbing. Now, Ryan says he likes a glove with a little bit deeper pocket than most second basemen, so he feels comfortable using that glove at third base.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 for Lilly. His 6th annual Meet the Team Have a Ball. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com or call 773-404-CUBS. Kyle Loesch is batting 1,000. 205 for his career. Second start at Wrigley for Lilly. He began the home opener and got a no decision. Back-to-back doubles to start the game. Said he might have been a little amped up. Although when you think about his demeanor on the mound, I don't know if he would actually show that he's amped up. He doesn't give away a lot.
That just means he took a deep breath. Very calm, cool, and collected out there on the mound so far this season has been Ted Lilly.
You think about the Cubs rotation. You have Carlos Zambrano, who wears his emotions on his sleeve almost at every turn. But everybody else, Rich Hill, Ted Lilly, Jason Marquis, Wade Miller, kind of have a similar demeanor. Strike 1 on Ryan Friel. Then there's the closer, Ryan Dempster. Oh, he's been really good.
We talked to Ryan briefly after the ball game yesterday and just commented at how crisp his pitches appeared. Late moving sinkers, sliders that were breaking sharply, and almost when they got to the hitting zone really looked on top of his game.
Just a bit inside. Okay, then. Maybe there was a fan behind the backstop who was sleeping, and Ted wanted to get their attention. Look out.
Well, I don't think there was any intent there from our Southwest.com RoboCam. Watch out. It's all right, though. Yeah, especially for a command pitcher. I mentioned earlier how Ted Lilly has been hitting his spots with all 4 of his pitches, and you know, sometimes when the reputation gets out that this is a guy that's always around the plate, he always hits his spot. Well, every now and then throw one to the backstop just to keep everybody loose.
Called strike 3. Found the zone that time. And Ted Lilly has faced 10 and has allowed just 1 hit early on. What a dandy.
Welcome to California.
We cruise.
Fly.
We run.
We go with the flow.
We let go.
And we believe one simple thing.
That every day in California
is your lucky day.
Is your lucky day.
So there's just one thing you have to ask yourself.
How fast can you get here?
Find yourself in California. Southwest Airlines is taking low fares farther with more than 90 daily flights from Chicago Midway to these cities.
You are now free to move about the country.
Give me a break, give me a break. Break me off piece of that Kit Kat. Oops. Take a break and head to Dairy Queen for the new Kit Kat Blizzard. Loaded with real chunks of Kit Kat candy bars and our creamy DQ soft serve. Do one.
The storm is coming. Storm Launcher, the insane all-terrain vehicle from Air Hogs, dominates any terrain in its path. Blazing speed on concrete, grass, sand, even snow. And it flies. Storm Launcher rips from land to water and up to the skies. This is the only RC that does it all. Now you've got the power and you're in control. Drifting turns, wild jumps, go from land to water, and then take it to the skies. Awesome aerial stunts are amazing. Other RC planes that fly like this can cost hundreds of dollars. But you can get the all-terrain storm launcher with the LiPo battery. And we'll also include our brand new AirHogs flight simulator that you can use on your PC. All this for 3 payments of $39.95. Storm Launcher is the only RC that does it all. Must be 18 years or older to call or log on.
To order your Storm Launcher, you can call 1-800-817-9594. That's 1-800-817-9594. You must be 18 or older to order.
America's funniest home videos, weeknights on Superstation WGN.
Great to have you with us today. April 15th, 2007. Bunted foul by Ted Lilly. He has 1 career hit and 1 RBI. That was earlier this year in Cincinnati. And a squeeze that only, I guess, he knew about. But it worked out.
The stealth squeeze. Only he knew it was coming.
Sprays foul, still 2 strikes. So today is Sunday, April 15th. I guess tax day's tomorrow, right? You get that extra day.
Prolong the misery.
Oh, it's Tuesday.
We'll prolong it even more.
Watch the Cubs take on the Cardinals Saturday, April 21st at 2:55. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 adults 21 and over will receive a Cubs white T-shirt, compliments of Anheuser-Busch. All right, so we're hearing tax day is Tuesday. Don't panic.
Well, technically every day is tax day, but tax filing date.
Yes. We mentioned Bronson Arroyo, and he talked about that sequence against his tourists later in the game. The Reds chose to intentionally walk pinch hitter Darrell Ward to get to Soriano. Popped it up over near the Reds dugout, and it will drop into the dugout. David Ross thought he might have had a play on it, but couldn't get over there in time. And Arroyo explained it this way. Soriano ended up with an infield RBI hit. The Cubs would go on to have a big inning. 5 unearned runs in that inning. But Arroyo said he hadn't faced Ward much, and he really had dominated Soriano in his career. Alfonso was just 3 for 22 against Arroyo to that point. But normally teams are not going to work around anybody to get to Soriano.
And it wasn't like Soriano laid out a line drive, a little chopper to the left side of the infield that he just exhibited that blazing speed to beat out at first base.
Swing and a miss and a strikeout. 4 strikeouts to the last 6 hitters for Loesch.
Came on a breaking ball. David Ross slides out off of the outside corner, and Loesch hits his spot down below the knees from our Southwest.com RoboCam. Soriano will strike out. This is a guy that's probably going to strike out 140, 150 times this year. Wouldn't be out of the question. In a lot of ways, he's not your prototypical leadoff hitter. He hits 40 home runs, but he will strike out a bunch as well.
Yeah, Arroyo did not have much experience facing Darrell Ward. So instead of going after a left-handed hitter he didn't know a lot about, he chose to face a guy he had seen many times. Soriano ended up with the RBI hit. That really busted open a big inning. And Soriano's speed also helped keep that inning alive as he beat the throw. Nicely done. The left-hander, the first baseman, the big first baseman. Terrio dunks it into right center and is 2 for 2.
Terrio with a base hit into shallow right field. His first at bat. This time gets a fastball on the inner half of the plate. A little bit of an inside out swing. Clean line drive into right center field. The riot.
Jock fly to deep right, and his first at bat is now 0 for 4 against Loesch. And Loesch is going to throw over to first. Bob, I got a great email recently from Ginny Bender from San Diego, California. Tells a story about her 24-year-old son, Michael. And Jones hits it into center. We'll get into that email when we come back as Friel makes a catch. Very interesting email I got. And we'll talk about it when we return. No score from Wrigley.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. It's going to be on.
Hey, babe. I told you I was having the girls over, remember?
What would Carlos do?
No. I remember you telling me that Linda needs to lose some weight, and that Beth needs to send her hair back to 1982, and that Claire should stop messing with Beth's boyfriend. I remember that.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
You know how it goes. There's your love life. And there's your life. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast, and as little as 30 minutes for some men, and work up to 36 hours. With Cialis, I can have the option of being ready fast, or have up to 36 hours to relax, knowing I can be ready when the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis?
Because life can be full of interruptions. When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
It's time to feel free with Chase Freedom. Feel free to choose points for rewards like travel.
I'm free to do what I want.
Or feel free to choose cash back.
I'm free.
Then feel free to change back again.
In the old time.
Without losing a thing. That's freedom. That's Chase Freedom. Get it free at chase.com/freedom.
Nothing as we get into the fourth inning. And Brandon Phillips will start it against Ted Lilly. So the email reads this way from Ginny Bender in San Diego. In September of 2005, my 24-year-old son was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer called desmoplastic small round cell tumor. No real stats on the cancer, everything basically experimental. But in 2006, doctors told us they would give him morphine and keep him comfortable till the end. So they found some doctors in Indiana who were willing to do surgery and some chemo, and surgery was set for May. Well, the week before they go to Indiana, the Cubs were in San Diego last year. Well, of course, Jock had gotten off to a slow start, had some base running issues, and was really taking a lot of heat from the fans in his hometown. And Michael, Ginny's son, who I just mentioned, was really giving it to Jock. And eventually Jock wanted to talk to him about it as Phillips takes a walk. So to make a long story short, there was a miscommunication. Jock wanted to talk to Michael after the game and apparently did not show up, but he didn't know he was supposed to meet him there at a specific time. So Ginny wrote Jock a letter to tell him what was going on with Michael. So a relationship that began with a fan getting on a player ended up with Jock not only giving Michael an autographed bat, but Jock calls at least once a month to check on Michael. So they have become very good friends. Unfortunately, the cancer has returned. I talked to Jock about it the other day, so we will absolutely keep Michael Bender in our thoughts and prayers. But Jock took a lot of heat here at home from the fans as well, and I just wanted to let people know that he really reached out to a fan who needed someone to kind of lean on, and I think that's a neat story on Jock's behalf.
You know, the bottom line is as deeply as we get involved in this game, it is just that. It's a game and it's a distraction for the fans, and you know, hopefully it provided somewhat of a distraction for what that young man was going through.
So Ginny, thank you for the email, and if you would like to email us, it's lenandbob@AOL.com. 2 strikes to count on Josh Hamilton. A little bit low and outside.
I mentioned the late scratch by Adam Dunn in left field. Today, Josh Hamilton finds himself in the lineup. There are those close to the Reds organization that think Josh Hamilton should be in the lineup every day regardless. Now, that may involve some chicanery on the part of Jerry Narron to find a way to get him in the lineup. You know, certainly Adam Dunn is going to be your everyday left fielder. Ken Griffey Jr. is going to be your everyday right fielder. Ryan Friel gets the majority of the starts in center field. And in order for Hamilton to play, one of those guys is either going to have to go to the bench or go to another spot in the lineup. And with Alex Gonzalez out on the bereavement list, there's been some talk about perhaps moving Brandon Phillips to shortstop and playing Ryan Friel at second base, playing Josh Hamilton in center field.
That is a good problem to have, and it's a problem that Lou Piniella is facing with Matt Merton. Matt has not gotten a start on the homestand because the Cubs haven't faced lefties. But I think he's going to start tomorrow night against the right-hander Clay Hensley just to get Merton into the lineup. Lou said it hurts that he hasn't been able to get Matt somehow on the field. But he says he will.
And to his credit, Matt Merton, you know he wants to be in there, but he said and done all the right things up to this point.
Runner goes, and a great pitch to run on as it was in the dirt. And meanwhile, it's 3-2 on Hamilton.
I mean, all you can do as a reserve player, which Matt Merton is right now, as we get another look at that big breaking ball that hits out in front of the right-handed batter's box. And all you can do is stay ready. Stay ready, stay positive. As we know, Lou Piniella will make defensive changes late in the ball game if the Cubs have a lead because of the injury to Aramis Ramirez. His bench is a little short, and Matt Merton figures to be the first right-handed pinch hitter off the bench as Hamilton looks at a fastball, strike 3.
Oh, the 5 Ks for Lilly. 3 have been of the looking variety. And here comes Lou. He's going to walk out and chat with Lilly.
On a fastball, a lot of left-handed hitters in 2-strike counts will anticipate some kind of a breaking pitch from a left-handed pitcher, and Ted Lilly just freezes him with that high 80s fastball. I mean, you're in a defensive count as a hitter anyway, and if you have in the back of your mind that big slow curveball, you're not going to be able to pull the trigger on a fastball, even if it is in the low to mid 80s. Possibly talking about the options here with Jeff Conine at the plate, a base open down there at first, and a left-handed hitter in the on-deck circle. Very brief conversation. Conine has had some success against Ted Lilly in the past. Was a .304 hitter with a couple of home runs coming into play today. And just missed one his first at bat of this ball game. A towering fly ball to Cliff Floyd in left field. So I'm sure if they're going to pitch to Jeff Conine, they're going to pitch to him very carefully.
Phillips at second base after the walk and the stolen base. Lilly with a long look at him. Now to the plate. And Phillips faked toward third, but then put on the brakes. Looked like he had a pretty good jump, but he just didn't want to keep going.
Boy, and hitters just hate that. We saw it happen to Derek Lee earlier this season when Alfonso Soriano had a false start at second base. D. Lee took a fastball right down the middle of the plate to give him an opportunity to steal the bag, and Soriano hit the brakes and went back to second. Very similar to what Brandon Phillips did on the pitch before. Now, most hitters will tell you either run or don't run, but don't give me a false start out there at second base and force me to take a pitch to allow you to steal the base, and then you're going to hit the brakes and go back. Don't do that.
And Lilly faking a throw to second as DeRosa got in behind Phillips. No runs to this point, but the Reds have a man in scoring position with 1 out, and Lily's going to throw this time.
They're talking about paying attention to the base runners with Rich Hill on the mound yesterday. The Reds were very aggressive. They stole a base. A couple other guys got started as the ball was put into play, and between innings, Lou and Larry Rothschild said, listen, we need you to slide step with runners on base. And he did so effectively throughout the remainder of the game and completely shut down the Reds running game. Some pitchers aren't able to make that adjustment quite so quickly. They can slide step on one pitch, but they would much prefer to use their big leg kick, generate as much momentum toward their target as possible. But Rich was able to make that adjustment very successfully and without a hitch in his stuff.
I think we'll see a combination from here on out from Rich. The big leg kick and occasionally that slide step. Way inside on Conine on a fastball. Yeah, that was the other great thing about Rich's performance, his ability to adapt and to adjust.
Well, with more experience, you learn who the base stealers are. What counts do they like to run in? What is a good running count? What is not a good running count? And you use the slide step accordingly.
3-2. Phillips with a great jump and a base hit into left, and Phillips will just keep on running. So Jeff Conine atoning for an error that set up that big 7th inning for the Cubs yesterday, putting the Reds on top 1-0.
Great jump at second base. No chance to get Phillips, even had Conine taken the pitch. Yeah, Jeff Conine's just a professional hitter. He'll take some funny looking swings from time to time, but he's found that hole more often than not throughout his career. That's why he's still playing.
Ball 1 on Griffey. Jeff Conine's in his 20th professional season. Turned 41 in late June.
Is and always has been a very good fastball hitter. Extremely quick bat on pitches from the middle of the plate in. And he demonstrated it right there with that base hit through the hole on the left side.
1-0 on Griffey. Lee holding the runner on at first. The Reds lead 1-0. There's a strike. Ted Lilly is 31, 6'1", 190 pounds. Signed a 4-year contract over the winter. April, when you look at his ERA, has been his best month. A 368 career April earned run average.
You know, Len, normally with Junior at the plate, you see an exaggerated infield shift. But because of the runner on first base, the possibility of a double play grounder, the Cubs not really shifting that much. Terrio over in the hole a little bit at third short as Junior chases a high fastball for strike 3. And also the fact that Junior is facing a left-handed pitcher, a guy he's not as likely to pull the ball as he would against a right-hander. See, Michael wants it up. Maybe not quite as high as he would have liked it, but Junior's an awesome low ball hitter. Pitch up around the belt on the outside part of the plate, can't come up with it.
So 6 strikeouts now for Lilly. He was 7th last year in the American League with almost 8 strikeouts per 9 innings. When you see a number like that, you think, wow, he must throw 95, but no, that's not the case.
Yeah, either throw 95 or have some kind of a gimmick pitch, a split finger, or some kind of a screwball changeup, something that gets hitters to swing and miss. But Lilly just, as we said earlier, commands 4 pitches.
Came into action today with 813 career strikeouts in 949 innings. thrown a lot of pitches early on. Conine running. And it's taken off the plate. Second steal of the inning for the Reds. Willie is not concerned at all about Conine. He's trying to get Encarnacion and get out of the inning. It just, nope. Let's say foul tip into the glove. Encarnacion claiming that ball hit him. So his awful week continues, and he's going to get tossed. He just slammed the helmet down as he was called out on a foul tip. Doug Eddings apparently thought that ball hit the knob of the bat, and Encarnacion is livid.
It looks like Nairn is going to ask Doug Eddings to ask for help from first base umpire Dana DeMuth. I think at this point Encarnacion is still in the ball game. He's been fined for throwing equipment. But Jerry Nairn gets between his player and the umpires involved here. Wants to make sure he keeps him in the ball game, as we're going to have a meeting of the minds out there on the right side of the infield. Always a good idea to have the trainer come out even if the ball doesn't hit him. Try to sell it.
Well, it looks like the strikeout will stand. So here's a final pitch, the controversial final pitch of the inning. That's a strikeout, folks. And Encarnacion will stay in, but will get fined for slamming his helmet. Boy, he's had a bad week.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Where does it hurt? New Elite liquid gels can make it better.
My neck has been getting really painful.
With a sore back, it's hard to paddle.
My knee is where it hurts.
Now for the first time, liquid speed meets Aleve strength. In new Aleve liquid gels, all-day relief for painful joints, backs, and muscles.
My knee's nice and happy again. It's nice and loose.
I didn't even think about the pain.
I can focus on that rock.
Where does it hurt? Aleve can make it better liquid fast.
Chase Freedom. It feels like no other credit card in the world. And it works like no other card, too. Feel free to choose cash back. And then change to points. And then change again, all with the same card and without losing a thing. That's freedom. Chase Freedom. Get it free at chase.com/freedom.
So the Reds settled for 1. And a very rough week of Edwin Encarnacion continues. Still without a hit. He thought he was hit by a pitch, but the ball deflected off the bat, according to Doug Eddings. And he's very fortunate he didn't get tossed.
Just a piece of friendly advice for Edwin Encarnacion. I'd be swinging the bat next time you come up there. He's demonstrated his displeasure with the home plate umpire in both of his at-bats in this ball game, and strike zone has a tendency to enlarge when that happens.
Meanwhile, 2-2 on Derek Lee. Walked in the first inning. 2 hits for the Cubs, both belonging to Ryan Theriot. Swing and a miss and a strikeout.
Well, it appears that home plate umpire Doug Eddings felt that this ball ticked off the knob of the bat. Encarnacion shaking that left hand. Right there, that's going to cost you. I'm not sure what the going rate is for equipment tosses this year. It used to be $100 per piece of equipment, but with inflation, I have to believe it might be a little bit more than that. And Encarnacion clearly held up. It wasn't like a check swing where there was a doubt as to whether he swung at the pitch or not. So it would appear that the only way that is a strike is if Eddings felt it clipped the knob of the bat before going into the glove of Michael Barrett.
Jerry Naron got out there quickly, probably because he got out there so fast. He kept Encarnacion in the game.
He even has his hands up in the air trying to block anything that Encarnacion may do after that. He fired his elbow guard and ultimately fired his ankle guard as well.
It reminded me of the Breakfast Club. It's like he wanted to discard every piece of equipment. The umpire said, "You want me to fine you again?" "Yes." "Are you done?" "No." Swing and a miss, and another strikeout for Loesch.
Well, we mentioned Ted Lilly and his ability to command 4 pitches. Kyle Loesch has had the ability to spot his 3 pitches in this game. His fastball on both sides of the plate, good sliders away from the righties, and appeared to be a good straight changeup right there, getting a swing and a miss from Michael Barrett. Well, when good pitchers are on top of their game, they make it look so easy. As we well know, it is not that easy.
Broken bat pop-up. The barrel of that bat ended up against the backstop right near the corner. As Conine makes a catch to end the inning. Cubs go quietly in the 4th.
Halt! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Answer my 3 questions and I'll let you pass.
Are you kidding?
What's large as a mountain but as small as a... Hey, how many people you got in there?
8.
Whoa, is that a DVD player?
Maybe.
Do I smell cookies?
Hit the gas. That's 3.
Beloved by humans, envied by trolls. The Pilot from Honda.
Presenting Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. So revolutionary, it targets and kills the toughest weeds without harming your lawn. Ortho Weed Be Gone sprayed here, ordinary weed killer here. Only Ortho Weed Be Gone has a foaming action and weed targeting formula for total root kill. So it killed the weeds, but not the grass. The ordinary weed killer killed everything. Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. Kills weeds, not lawns. Guaranteed. Now available with new crabgrass control.
You know how it goes. There's your love life. Then there's your life. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast, in as little as 30 minutes for some men, and work up to 36 hours. With Cialis, I can have the option of being ready fast, or have up to 36 hours to relax, knowing I can be ready when the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis?
Because life can be full of interruptions. When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
Right out in the middle of the lake.
Looks like the top of a very ugly wedding cake.
Well, maybe one of the water competitions will be right out there, and the Olympics. Chicago yesterday found out it had beaten out Los Angeles as the U.S. entry as a bid for the Summer Games in 2016. So now Chicago goes up against cities around the world. And we won't find out until 2009 who will host the Summer Games in 2016. But There will be a celebration tomorrow as Castro rolls it to short. And he's thrown out by his counterpart, is Torres. There's a citywide celebration after the selection of Chicago as the U.S. applicant city for the Summer Games in 2016. Daly Plaza at noon tomorrow.
Like this city needs an excuse to celebrate.
David Ross with one out.
Boy, even when Ted Lilly misses with that big breaking ball, he doesn't miss by much. That one maybe just a bit low out of the strike zone. Although when it crossed in front of the plate, it was probably in the zone.
Is that a Cardinal hat on? Cardinals will be in next weekend. They are still looking for their first home win. By everybody. 3-0. Cardinals 0-4 at Busch Stadium. Pirates still winless at home. Phillies got on the board, as did the Cubs yesterday. A strike 3-1. Fouled back by Ross. Called strike 3. What a comeback by Ted Lilly. Well, Jackie Robinson Day and Robert Chamberlain, the outstanding chef. And this is our favorite day, Sunday brunch.
Oh, yes.
In the lunchroom up in the press box with the Brooklyn Dodgers, number 42, hanging up in the background.
Robert, a huge baseball fan, very aware of the history of the game. He, too, involved in the celebration today.
Always great to see Robert and Andy Akins and company of the lunchroom. See, it's always tough for me. Do I go pancakes or the eggs? I just did both today. Pushed Loesch off the plate.
The media lunchroom here at Wrigley has been remodeled somewhat. Some new television sets, some new pictures on the wall.
Called strike 3 and Loesch is out. So Lilly trailing at the moment, but has looked very sharp today as the Cubs trail 1-0. Might have to go back in there and get some more eggs.
Okay, class. If you're in the South, you say, "Hey, feller, give me a Bud Light."
Hey, feller, give me a Bud Light.
In New York, you say, "Hey, give me a Bud Light." You got a problem with that?
Bud Light, you got a problem with that.
In East LA, you say, "Give me a Bud Light, Holmes."
Give me a Bud Light, Holmes.
More importantly, if somebody asks you for a Bud Light, you say,
"Don't speak English."
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Bud Light?
Bud Light.
Bud Light.
Bud Light.
Give me a break, give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat. Oops. Take a break and head to Dairy Queen for the new Kit Kat Blizzard. Loaded with real chunks of Kit Kat candy bars and our creamy DQ soft serve. Do one.
It was without a doubt my most romantic date ever. We walked out of the bar hand in hand. I think he tried to kiss me, but he missed. I kissed him first.
There is definitely something here.
Chemistry is something that's hard to explain, but we have it.
She has such a great smile.
That's such a beautiful smile. When you pair chemistry with deep compatibility, that's called finding the love of your life.
I can't stop kissing her.
Find it for yourself at eharmony.com. Log on today.
Hi, I'm Mitch Fontenot, and this is where it hurts, my shoulder. I love to play sports and always have. If I could make money playing sports, I would do it. It hurts in my shoulder area, kind of a electric pain that just comes in a shock. Recently, I've taken a Aleve liquid gel. It's worked for me. It helped me out. It alleviated the pain. It's been working ever since, and I will continue to use it. Trying to live your glory days at my age, it has its consequences. You know, that's that pride thing that comes in any athlete. You want to continue to play. I think I got enough in me where I can play a couple more years. I'm not that old, but at least I don't think so.
Scrubs, late nights on Superstation WGN.
1-0 Reds. Got to get some runs for Ted Lilly, who's been outstanding. Kyle Loesch has been really good as well. Facing the bottom of the order, DeRosa, Izturis, and Lilly. Loesch working very quickly and throwing a lot of strikes. 9 strikeouts for Lilly against 1 walk. 6 strikeouts, 1 walk for Loesch. Here he comes again. And it's off the plate. 1-2.
So far, Mark DeRosa has seen all 3 of the pitches that Kyle Loesch usually throws. A fastball for a called strike, a slider for a strike, and then just missed low with that changeup. Comes back with another off-speed pitch, changeup in the dirt. Well, that's part of the scouting report on Kyle Loesch. He likes to work quickly, likes to get the ball, get up on the mound, get into a rhythm out there, get you to chase bad pitches out of the zone. And for the Cubs hitters, the idea is to try to throw him off his rhythm.
Called strike 3. Well, Doug Eddings has had that trigger busy all day. Let's take a look at our upcoming Cubs and Sox high-definition broadcast schedule, sponsored by Comcast. We'll have the Padres and Cubs Tuesday afternoon. Greg Maddux will face Wade Miller. Leadoff man show gets underway at 1 o'clock Tuesday night. Rangers and White Sox. Sammy Sosa back in town. 7 o'clock on WCIU Channel 26. And then next Sunday, Cubs hosting the Cardinals. 2007 Major League Baseball on WGN Sports and WCIU Channel 26 in HD. Sponsored by Comcast. Phillips showing his range, and his Izturis is gone. A good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. Kyle Loesch with 2 no decisions to begin the year. So looking for his first win.
Next batter, the pitcher, Ted Lilly.
I think standing around the batting cage today, a lot of the hitters were very excited to see the sun out today. The temperatures have warmed up slightly after what has been a bitterly cold start to this home season here in Chicago. And with the sun shining today, it felt very comfortable around the cage, but 2 pitchers on top of their game have a way of turning those bats chilly.
Ted has not been afraid to swing the bat in his first couple of tries, and he has fouled off 2. The only offense supplied by Ryan Theriot with both hits. The other base runner, Derek Lee, with a 2-out walk in the first. That stings. A cool day in the shade.
Yeah, but this is the kind of day you want to go after those foul balls. It's a special baseball designed for today by MLB. Right. It has a logo on it, so I would fully expect the fans to be diving for those foul balls today, even more than they usually do.
One and 2 on Lilly. Soriano will only bat if the pitcher can get on. Slow curve outside. Loesch is 28. They got him from the Twins in July of last year. 3 and 2, making him work. Payoff pitch struck him out. 7 straight sent down by Loesch. We'll go to the 6th. It's 1-0 Reds.
Lizzie McGuire celebrates life as a teenager, where anything and everything could go wrong. But with the help of her family and friends, everything will be all right.
Yeah, right.
It's where school, cool, and exciting adventures are just around the corner.
1 out of 3 isn't so bad.
Get inside her head. Lizzie McGuire. Weekday afternoons on Superstation WGN.
The weather was so much better yesterday.
A bad day in Florida beats a good day almost anywhere else. With over 50 daily flights from Chicago Midway to the Sunshine State, Southwest Airlines is taking low fares farther.
You are now free to move about the country. Presenting Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. So revolutionary, it targets and kills the toughest weeds without harming your lawn. Ortho Weed Be Gone sprayed here, ordinary weed killer here. Only Ortho Weed Be Gone has a foaming action and weed targeting formula for total root kill. So it killed the weeds, but not the grass. The ordinary weed killer killed everything. Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. Kills weeds, not lawns. Guaranteed. Now available with new crabgrass control.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports from beautiful Wrigley Field is brought to you by Budweiser. Born in America, enjoyed around the world. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
1-0 Cincinnati. It is Jackie Robinson Day. All around baseball. Unfortunately, a lot of rainouts, especially out east. But sunny skies above here in Chicago. And Ted Lilly trying to keep the Reds right where they are. They got a run in the 4th inning on a Jeff Conine RBI single. And they'll send their top 3 in the order against Lilly in the 6th. Fly ball down the right field line, and it's going to land foul.
Another notable African-American first, Larry Doby, the first African-American player in the American League, signed with the Cleveland Indians 11 days after Jackie Robinson's debut. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame back in 1998. And Frank Robinson, first Major League manager back in Cleveland, 1975, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1982. And Frank was my first manager in the major leagues with the San Francisco Giants.
High fly sending Soriano back. And he has it. And Robinson has rejoined Major League Baseball as a special advisor. Most recently was the manager of the Expos/Nationals.
What a great player Frank Robinson was. Man. And we've talked a lot about the courageousness of Jackie Robinson, what he went through in breaking the color barrier in Major League Baseball. And Frank Robinson had that same kind of courage in the batter's box every day. Stood right on top the inside corner of the plate and dared pitchers to come inside on him. Had his share of hit by pitches, always just ran down to first base, took it out on a middle infielder.
He went into the Hall in '82, as you mentioned, along with Hank Aaron. And Phillips shaking that one off.
Got fooled just a little bit on that pitch. Actually, a high fastball. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Just reacted.
The wrist,
yeah.
It just stung. Got in on the hands. Reds already without Adam Dunn. He was a late scratch because of back spasms. Awkward swing by Phillips, and he'll head back to the dugout.
Well, that didn't look good. Awkward swing at an awkward pitch. You can clearly see the grimace on the face of Brandon Phillips as he finished his swing.
But 10 strikeouts for Lilly. It's the 9th time in his career he's hit double digits in strikeouts. And his career high is 13 back in 2004. Hamilton hits a ground ball to DeRosa. Ted Lilly has been in a nice groove, but he still trails 1-0.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi.
What up, Pete?
Yo, I got an idea.
Another good thing about Geico is they've got, like, real live people working there 24/7. So, like, say you need to report a claim, right? A real person will be there to help you. Then you can use Geico.com to view photos of the damage, track your claim, print an estimate. You want an English muffin? They literally hand you a toasted muffin with butter and jam. Oh, it's tasty. That's a complete dramatisation, of course, but you get my point.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Swing by Wrigley for an early season matchup on the north side. Cubs, Padres, Tuesday at 2 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Alfonso Soriano showed bunt and looked at a strike. Ted Lilly hydrating. He's allowed just 2 hits and 1 run, but the Cubs have been blanked by Kyle Loesch. Fair ball. Pass it diving Encarnacion. And Soriano will pull up with a leadoff double. That's a good start.
Well, we saw Soriano show bunt on the first pitch. I don't know so much that he was thinking about bunting. He just wanted to draw Encarnacion in a step or two at third and then gets a breaking ball. One of the few mistakes we've seen from Kyle Loesch that hangs over the inside part of the plate and easily motors into second base with his 6th double of the year.
Brings up the red-hot Ryan Theriot. This is an interesting spot here. Did not show bunt, and he's swinging the hottest bat for the Cubs at the moment. He's 7 for his last 10.
And both of his base hits in the game today have come to the right side of the field. I think he's demonstrated to Lou Piniella that he can handle the bat well enough to go ahead, swing away, try to hit a ground ball to that right side and move Soriano to third.
How about a base hit to center? Quaddy's going to put on the stop sign at third, and they're at first and third, and Theriot is 3 for 3. What a weekend he's had. He had 2 hits yesterday. His first 3 hits of the year were in consecutive at-bats on Friday.
Boy, nice compact swing. Gets that front foot down early. That gives him a real good opportunity to identify the pitch and squares it up. Hard line drive into center field to Ryan Freel. No chance to send the runner home on that. You wouldn't want to risk it with the middle of the Cubs lineup coming to the plate and nobody out.
Jones ready to go. 0 for 2 to start the day. Reds want a double play up the middle. Encarnacion in a little bit at third, and he waves at strike 1. Jock with no RBIs, but a golden opportunity here. Tying run is at third. The go-ahead run at first. We're in the 6th. A pitch by Loesch, another swing and a miss. Now it's battle time.
A ground ball anywhere other than back to the pitcher is going to score a run right here. Reds are conceding that run, playing back all the way around with the exception of Jeff Conine holding the runner at first.
John could not find any of those 3 pitches. Hearing it from the crowd, and Derek Lee will come up, and now Loesch is thinking ground ball, get out of it.
Well, Jock didn't really have a good pitch to swing at the entire sequence. Chased a high fastball for strike 1 and then back-to-back changeups out of the zone away.
The 9th strikeout for Loesch. And ball 1 on Lee. Well, Loesch has tied his career high with the 9 Ks. Kick and the pitch. Right at the knees, 1-1.
Good take right there by Derek Lee. That's not a pitch you can do very much with. Sinker that started off the outside corner, maybe nipped the corner at the knees. That's a ground ball waiting to happen.
Another pitcher's strike right on the outside sliver of the plate.
You see where David Ross is set up off the outside corner, and that ball starts off the outside corner, stayed off the outside corner, but Doug Eddings has called a big zone for both teams today.
Brings up a 1-2, called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Loesch, and it's up to Michael Barrett. A few words from Derek Lee to Doug Eddings. Totally different at bats. Jock swung and missed at every pitch, whereas Derek looked at all of the strikes from Loesch.
And thought all 3 of them were off the plate away, including the strike 3. Rarely do you see Derek Lee react to a called strike, even if it is a called strike 3.
So a career high for Loesch with 10 strikeouts. He's matched Ted Lilly. And Barrett down into the right field corner, slicing off the sidewall, foul. That would have given the Cubs the lead.
Good approach that time by Michael Barrett. I mean, Loesch has the ability to command both sides of the plate as you get a look at the respective pitching lines today. But when he gets in a jam, he's going to go away, especially when he's getting that call an inch or 2 off the outside corner. So Michael Barrett just looked out there and just missed at least tying this ball game up. Loesch continually pounding that outside corner on Derek Lee. Tries to go out there on Michael Barrett, who looks out there, just can't quite keep it fair down that right field line. Well, that's smart hitting. Even though it's just a foul ball and strike 1 on Michael Barrett, he was very observant in Derek Lee's at bat, saw what Kyle Loesch was trying to do to him in this situation, and made the appropriate adjustment.
Griffey is there and right, and Loesch escapes. Fans upset. The Cubs had 1st and 3rd with no outs and could not get a run. It's still 1-0.
The most talked about vote in American Idol history.
I am in a total state of shock.
American Idol Rewind. Tonight at 8 on Superstation WGN.
No matter what the label looks like, no matter how you say it, one beer is the perfect choice at any corner bar in any corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
For years, man has known about the advantage of twin blades.
Smooth.
Now there's the twin blade advantage from Honda. Twin blades mean finer clippings when mulching to feed your lawn. They also mean more bagging capacity and less emptying. And of course, Honda means it's built to last. The twin blade advantage, exclusively on Honda mowers.
Where does it hurt?
New Aleve liquid gels can make it better.
My neck has been getting really painful.
With a sore back, it's hard to paddle.
My knee is where it hurts.
Now for the first time, liquid speed meets Aleve strength. In new Aleve liquid gels, all-day relief for painful joints, backs, and muscles.
My knee's nice and happy again. It's nice and loose.
I didn't even think about the pain.
I can focus on that rock.
Where does it hurt? Aleve can make it better liquid fast.
Time now to have a ball with our friends at the Illinois Lottery. Ted Lilly had a ball pitching against the Cincinnati Reds today. 10 strikeouts coming on a variety of different pitches. Gave up only the 1 run back in the 4th inning. That came after his only walk of the ball game to Brandon Phillips. Phillips stole second base, came around to score on a Jeff Conine base hit, and Ted Lilly is now out of the ball game in favor of right-hander Michael Wirtz.
Michael came on 2 days ago and struck out 3 in a row. That was the inning the Cubs would rather forget, when Cincinnati scored 6 times. And Michael came in with the bases loaded and no outs and coaxed a bunch of swings and misses to get out of the inning. Unfortunately, the Cubs could not get another run that day and lost by 1, 6-5. They're down today 1-0. Ted Lilly threw 101 pitches, 63 were strikes. Walked 1, struck out 10, and did everything you'd ask out of a starter. A quality performance from Ted Lilly. Conine grounds out.
Now, 101 pitches doesn't seem to be an excessive number, especially given the command that Ted Lilly had over this Reds offense today. But we saw Michael Wirtz begin to warm up when the last half inning started, and a little bit surprised to see him in this ball game.
Junior pulls 1 foul. Well, because he was getting ready, you don't want to speculate that there's any sort of injury, but you wonder if he could have gone another inning. We'll have to wait and see after the ball game. He was very good. Last hit he gave up was the RBI single by Conine in the 4th. After that, he struck out 5 of the last 8 he faced. Strike on Griffey. 0-2 on him. Former Notre Dame quarterback Brady Quinn will handle take me out to the ball game today, along with a couple of friends. Soriano gliding in and calling and catching.
Hey, Cub fans, on Sunday, April 22nd, it's Baby Ruth Day at Wrigley Field. The first 10,000 fans in the ballpark will receive a fun-sized Baby Ruth candy bar. They're all fun-sized. Don't miss the Cubs as they battle the Cardinals at 1:20 on Baby Ruth Day. Savor the good stuff.
Fouled back by Encarnacion. He has pinstripes all the way up to the top.
That's kind of that Boy George look. Didn't he go with something like that for a while?
He might have.
Kind of odd prison striped. Yeah.
That was not a Culture Club fan. Nice pick by Terrios. He throws to first and gets Encarnacion. Stretch time.
Take me out of the ball game is former Notre Dame quarterback Brady Quinn.
Hey, I just want to say it's great to be here at Wrigley. All right, Chicago, this one's for Jackie. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if it ever gets Root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs. Yeah. Don't come in.
Where does it hurt? New Aleve liquid gels can make it better.
My neck has been getting really painful.
With a sore back, it's hard to paddle.
My knee is where it hurts.
Now for the first time, liquid speed meets Aleve strength. In new Aleve liquid gels, all-day relief for painful joints, backs, and muscles.
My knee's nice and happy again. It's nice and loose.
I didn't even think about the pain.
I can focus on that rock.
Where does it hurt? Aleve can make it better liquid fast.
Switch to Valvoline's Max Life, and there's no telling how long your car will keep going. Max Life not only protects against friction, but also leaks, deposits, and sludge, the 4 major causes of high-mileage engine breakdown. Long live your car.
On the next Scrubs, it's Sex Education Week.
Would you please get off my ex-wife?
I will if you will.
And somebody's flunking out.
Bajingo, bajingo, bajingo. I can't even look at my own bajingo.
Heather Locklear guest stars.
I like it.
Next Scrubs, tonight at 11:30 Eastern. She's perfect, he's a pest, and they're getting even. Even Stevens, weekday afternoons on Superstation WGN.
Bottom of the 7th inning, the Cubs are trailing 1-0. Cliff Lloyd leading off. Just 6 hits combined. The Cubs have 4 of those hits, but no runs against Kyle Loesch. Great opportunity in the 6th. They put the first 2 men on, but could not get a run. A 1-1 pitch on the way. Roll to Conine, who will step on first. Brady Quinn is with us. Nice job with the 7th inning stretch. You had a little help from the offensive line, huh?
Yeah, got to bring in the guys that protect you and support you.
Ryan Harrison, Dan Santucci with you, and you're getting ready for the draft, right?
2 weeks away. So it's an exciting time right now. I mean, obviously, we've been traveling a lot, working out for a lot of teams. I was actually working out for Coach Gruden and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers yesterday, back in South Bend. But it's an exciting time.
Swing and a miss by DeRosa.
Is that a nerve-wracking process when you work out specifically for one ball club in front of all those eyes?
Not so much. They bring a select group of people, like, for example, Coach Hackett, Coach Gruden, and their GM owner, Bruce Allen was there. So, really, it's not necessarily like there's a bunch of people, sitting there watching you, and there's so much stuff going on. I mean, the coach is directing around. You're just pretty much moving so fast where it's not nerve-wracking at all. It's more like a practice, more like a game-type situation.
Not that you're going to tell us where you'd like to go, but in the back of your mind, do you have an idea of where you may end up? You're going to go top few picks. We know that.
Yeah, it's an interesting process. From what I hear, you can't pay a whole lot of attention to what teams are telling you, what people are saying. You just got to wait and be ready for whatever the draft day throws at you.
11 strikeout for Loesch. Check out the first pitch from Brady Quinn.
I'd have to say you're the most qualified first pitch thrower we've had at Wrigley Field in a long time.
Oh, really?
Nicely done. Now, Daisuke Matsuzaka throws what they call a gyro ball. I'm told, Bob, that he kind of throws it like a quarterback would throw a football. That's how it was explained.
I used to have something like that back in the day.
And there are some baseball players who will play catch with a football every once in a while just to stay in shape with their arm. Well, we have Jeff Samardzija in the Cubs organization, and I'll tell you what, he looked really good in spring training.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be great. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him up here in a very, very short time.
Can you hang with us for a couple more minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it. Brady Quinn with us. Another 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Loesch.
Lizzie McGuire celebrates life as a teenager, where anything and everything could go wrong. But with the help of her family and friends, everything will be all right.
Yeah, right.
It's where school, cool, and exciting adventures are just around the corner.
1 out of 3 isn't so bad.
Get inside her head. Lizzie McGuire. Weekday afternoons on Superstation WGN.
Before you order your next beer, consider this. Budweiser still goes to the expense of Beechwood aging, an original old world style of lagering. And Budweiser cares enough to own and maintain world-renowned hop farms. A perfect choice in every corner bar, in every corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Presenting Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. So revolutionary, it targets and kills the toughest weeds without harming your lawn. Ortho Weed Be Gone sprayed here, ordinary weed killer here. Only Ortho Weed Be Gone has a foaming action and weed targeting formula for total root kill. So it killed the weeds, but not the grass. The ordinary weed killer killed everything. Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. Kills weeds, not lawns. Guaranteed. Now available with new crabgrass control.
Into the 8th inning, Michael Wirtz with a perfect 7th. It's been all about the pitching for both teams. Only run came in the top of the 4th. Juan Castro starting the 8th for the Reds with Golden Domer Brady Quinn. And there's a pitch low. We were talking during the break about Coach Weiss. What was it like to play for him?
He's obviously a tough coach. You know, if you've seen everything they kind of portray on the news. Tough coach, but he's a great to play for. He pushes you past your limits and allows you really to excel, you know, on the field.
2-1 on Castro. And a strike, 2-2. So back to Jeff Samardzija. Were you surprised at all that he decided to pick baseball over football full time?
No, we had the opportunity to talk about that, you know, kind of situation over the season. We kind of knew that, you know, baseball would, you know, make an offer that's pretty tough to refuse. I mean, you've seen it before with Drew Henson, you know, players of that type. So you kind of knew there's probably going to be something in the mix, you know, once the season was finished.
The Horns with a good comeback to get strike 3 on Juan Castro, opening up the top half of the 8th inning.
And the Reds with action in their pen. Veteran Mike Stanton is a lefty. Kirk Sarlos is the right-hander. Loesch has been fairly efficient, 96 pitches through 7, but he is on deck. And it's left-hander Will Ullman up for the Cubs. Ooh. Bounced foul near the Cubs dugout. So draft day, where are you going to be?
I'll be in New York City. My family, my friends, my girlfriend, pretty much everyone that I'm very close to is going to be there with me. So it's an exciting time. We want to make sure we kind of did it the right way.
Take a deep breath that day, and I guess it's out of your hands at that point, right?
Exactly. I mean, really, you know, everything from here on out is pretty much out of my hands. You know, and the funny thing is, you're always reminded of that when you go and visit teams, because it's kind of it's sort of similar to college, where they kind of, you know, bring you in, you see the facilities, meet the staff, but you know, at the end of the day, they're going, oh well, we're the ones picking, not you. So you don't really have the opportunity to. It doesn't matter what you think of the place. It only matters what they think of you.
It's 2-2 on Dave Ross. Bounced up there for ball 3. 3-2. How many times have you been to Wrigley?
I've been, I think, probably around 4 times over the past 4 years. I came a number of times. I came before to watch when Ken Merker pitched one of the days when you guys had, I think it was about 2 years ago. So he's from my high school, and you know, I think I've met him a couple times before.
Called strike 3, and Ross is out. Brady, best of luck, and we look forward to draft day.
I do too. Thank you guys for having me.
All right, have a great NFL career, and don't stray too far. I want to see you back here at Wrigley Field soon. Okay.
I will. Thank you. Go Cubs.
All right, you got to listen to some Notre Dame tunes as we say that this year you you can't be at home to watch the Cubs on TV, check out MLB.tv. You can watch every out-of-market game of the season live online, even when you're traveling. And radio broadcasts are included with a subscription to MLB.tv. For more details, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. Kyle Loesch pulls it foul out of play. I thought quarterbacks were supposed to be the smaller guys.
Wow, that's a big boy right there.
Yeah. Right out in front of the plate, and Barrett will pick it up in fair territory. Michael Wirtz continues to dominate. Gotta get some runs. 1-0.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares even farther. Visit southwest.com.
Searching other websites for low fares? Better get comfortable. Fly one of Southwest Airlines' 7 daily nonstops from Chicago Midway to Long Island for just $39 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
With 2 million vehicle listings to choose from on Cars.com, you can find the right car for you.
That's it.
Find the right car for you. Cars.com.
Chase Freedom. It feels like no other credit card in the world. And it works like no other card, too. Feel free to choose cash back. And then change to points. And then change again, all with the same card and without losing a thing. That's freedom. Chase Freedom. Get it free at chase.com/freedom.
The Padres swing by Wrigley for an early season matchup on the north side. Cubs, Padres, Tuesday at 2 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Hey, Cub fans, don't forget to check out our baseball blog on WGNTV.com. Up on the blog today, I have a post about small ball versus big ball and photos from Jackie Robinson here in the friendly confines. WGNTV.com. Click on the link for Len and Bob's blog. Great job by Michael Wirtz, and Matt Burton will pinch hit for him. Home half of the 8th inning. It's getting late. Caught the corner. He's done that a lot today.
Yes, he has. And the Cubs hitters are going to have to make some kind of adjustment. I mean, it is the 8th inning. You'd think the adjustment would have been made by this point. But to his credit, Kyle Loesch just keeps hammering that outside corner.
Just missed it that time.
You know, it's easy to say make an adjustment, but not very many hitters handle a pitch at the knees on the outside corner very well.
So Matt Merton without a start on a homestand, but having to be ready off the bench. Gerald Perry looks on, the hitting coach. And it's 2-2.
Stellar starts from both starting pitchers in the ball game today. Kyle Loesch having a career day.
The wind and a 2-2 to Merton. He's shown a very patient eye, considering he hasn't played much lately. And he's run at full 3-2. Cubs have had one great opportunity to score. That was the 6th. In the air to center, Friel hauls it in. So Merton lines out on a 3-2 pitch. Let's take a look at today's Honda Civic game summary. The only run to this point, Jeff Conine with an RBI single back in the 4th inning, as Brandon Phillips was running on the pitch and scored easily. Today's Honda Civic game summary. Get performance and save gas. Test drive a new Civic at your Honda dealer today.
Phillips was the only walk in the ball game for Ted Lilly. That was leading off the 4th inning. He subsequently stole second base and then came around to score on that Jeff Conine base hit. Well, that was one to hit right there. One of the few mistakes Loesch has made. That was a breaking ball up around the belt on the inside part of the plate. Just froze Soriano. That's a breaking ball we've seen more of. That one that starts on the outer 5 or 6 inches of the plate and just catches the corner, breaking away from the right-handed hitters.
Time called. We'll start this sequence again. 1-2 on Soriano. Slider, and he fought it off. The Cubs have 1 home run this week at home, and it's come from Carlos Zambrano. Cubs were out-homered at Wrigley last year, 125-81. Sure could use one right now.
Now the wind really not much of a factor at this point. Ever so slightly blowing in from right field, but shouldn't really affect anything hit the left.
Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Ground ball outside at third. It's foul, not by a whole lot.
Boy, in a 1-run ball game in this ballpark, usually you see pitchers just stay away. If you're going to get beat with a long ball, make the hitters hit the ball to the opposite field. And that time Loesch tried to come in on Alfonso Soriano and pulled it hard down the third base line, but just foul. I would fully expect him to go back out off of that outside corner.
Swing and a miss and a strikeout. That's 12 for Loesch. He continues to set a new career high. Previously was 9.
Boy, it's amazing on a given day when a pitcher has good command of his pitches, how you can carve up an opposing lineup. He has made very few mistakes with any of his pitches in this ball game today and just continues to hammer away at that outside corner.
He's over 110 pitches, but looks very strong here in the 8th. Meanwhile, Terrio's the only guy who's really been able to get to him. He's 3 for 3. All 3 hits have been singles. Dempster up in the bullpen, hoping the Cubs can get the lead here.
A third of the strikeouts in the ball game today have been called strike 3. And the majority of those on the outside corner. Ryan Theriot working the opposite field effectively his first 2 times up.
Griffey on the scene to make the catch. Kyle Loesch with 4 career complete games. Don't know if he's going to get a chance to finish it, but he has been outstanding. 1-0.
The top 4 give you 2 chances to love them.
You just sang the hell out of it.
Plus, the most talked about vote in Idol history.
I am in a total state of shock.
American Idol Rewind. Tonight at 8 on Superstation WGN.
Have you enjoyed a Budweiser lately? Because I can only describe the smoothness you'll get from Beechwood Aging. I can only tell you about the choicest hops. But if you really want to understand what makes Budweiser the king of beers, you have to taste it. Just taste it. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
You know how it goes. There's your love life. Then there's your life. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast, in as little as 30 minutes for some men, and work up to 36 hours. With Cialis, I can have the option of being ready fast, or have up to 36 hours to relax, knowing I can be ready when the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis?
Because life can be full of interruptions. When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
Time now for our Bud Light fan cam on Jackie Robinson Day. In Major League Baseball, a classic from Buddy Johnson.
Jackie hits that ball. When he swung his bat, the crowd went wild because he knocked that ball a solid mile. Yeah, boy.
Song recorded by a number of artists over the last few decades. Did you see Jackie Robinson hit that ball by Buddy Johnson? Bud Light in our WGN Sports Bud Light fan cam. Always worth it. We're in the ninth. It's not a safe spot for Ryan Dempster, but it is a big spot in that the Cubs trail by a run. And he faces Ryan Friel, 2-0 on the Reds leadoff hitter. Quiet day for Friel. Ouch.
Boy, and because it's been a quiet day for Ryan Friel, he has not been nearly as busy. This is about as clean as you'll ever see his uniform. That cannot feel good. Oh, got him up on the inside of the shin bone above the ankle. We talked about it a lot in the early going this season with the cold temperatures and the winds blowing in off the lake. If you're busy offensively, if you're running the bases and defensively you're running to the gaps, you have a tendency to stay a lot warmer and you feel like you're loose and can do some things. But when you have a day like today where you don't do much offensively and don't have much action in the outfield, those kind of foul balls really hurt late in the game.
While we have a second, I want to congratulate Kara and Nick DiCarlo on the birth of their daughter, Anna Rose DiCarlo. Kara and Nick, big Cub fans watching today's game with Anna in St. Louis. So we're ready to go again. 2-1 on Friel. And he gets a ground ball to short. Running okay toward first, but thrown out by his tourists. David Weathers, former Cub, is up and ready in the Reds bullpen.
To wish a happy birthday to Alexa Joshi, who's here at the ball game today. It's her first Cubs game. She's 4 years old today. I imagine mom and dad told her, yeah, baseball's where the guys hit the ball and run around the bases, and she's trying to figure out what the heck is going on here today. Guys just keep walking back from home plate with the bat in their hands.
Also, happy birthday to Ryan Pierce watching today. A strike on Phillips, 39,820. The paid crowd. Bunted, foul. We haven't had much time to talk about other action around baseball. We did mention the postponements. But Cleveland beat the White Sox. CC Sabathia, wearing number 42, improved to 3-0. The Indians had one hit But that was enough to beat the White Sox 2-1. High chopper over the mound. DeRosa throws in time to get Phillips. Hey, music fans, the fray with OK Go and May will be at the Charter One Pavilion on Northerly Island, June 12th to the 14th, beginning at 7 o'clock, part of the great Bud Light concert series. The show on the 14th was just added. Tickets went on sale yesterday. You can get them at Ticketmaster.com or call Ticketmaster at 312-559-1212. The fray, OK Go, May, and Bud Light. Always worth it. Sounds like a great show. Swing and a miss. Josh Hamilton. Josh Hamilton, a great comeback story. First high school player to be taken with the #1 overall pick in '99 since A-Rod back in '93, but spent several years on the restricted list for violating baseball's substance abuse policy. Was reinstated in June of last year. He was in a Tampa Bay organization. The Cubs took him in the Rule 5 draft, but immediately traded him to Cincinnati.
Well, you can see why he was the #1 overall pick out of high school. This guy has a tremendous set of physical gifts. Good power, good speed, good defensive outfielder. And we talked about it earlier in the ball game. It's going to be a challenge for Jerry Narron to get playing time for Josh Hamilton with Adam Dunn, Ryan Friel, and Ken Griffey Jr. in that outfield mix.
His first career start was Tuesday in Arizona. Hit a home run. His first pro home run since 2002 when he was an A-ball. But he hasn't looked rusty early on for the Reds. Conine on deck. He has supplied the only run of the game with the RBI single in the 4th. Pop foul and back out of play. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, Jones, Lee, and Barrett due up. The 3-2, he struck him out. So the Cubs pitchers have done their job today. The bullpen stellar with 3 shutout innings. Down 1 with 3 outs to go.
On the next Scrubs, it's Sex Education Week.
Would you please get off my ex-wife? I will if you will.
And somebody's flunking out.
Bajingo, bajingo, bajingo. I can't even look at my own bajingo.
Heather Locklear guest stars.
I like it, I like it.
Next Scrubs, tonight at 11:30 Eastern.
Hello.
Hey, Bert.
Stand up. I've been brushing up on my game.
Think Marcia saw?
Nope. But she'll see this. You see, Gary, while you're playing that football game, I have GameFly. I rent from over 4,000 video game titles online, giving me millions of moves.
Oh, man.
Say it.
GameFly starts for as low as $8.95. Just mail the games back for free and get more. No late fees and cancel any time. Hey, Marcia.
Product shown rated E through M.
Hi, can you tell me, how are the rooms at that hotel?
Very nice curtains and TV as video games.
Uh-huh. And the rooms at your hotel?
There's a bed and some tables.
Right.
Want to talk to someone who really knows hotels? Call the experts at Hotels.com. They've got the inside scoop on over 70,000 properties. They're available 24/7, and they'll always find you the best price guaranteed. Just log on or call 800-2HOTELS now. Hotels.com. You know hotels inside and out.
Halt! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Answer my 3 questions and I'll let you pass.
Are you kidding?
What's large as a mountain but as small as a... Hey, how many people you got in there?
8.
Whoa, is that a DVD player?
Maybe.
Do I smell cookies?
Hit the gas. That's 3.
Beloved by humans, envied by trolls. The Pilot from Honda.
The pitchers have thoroughly dominated this afternoon. The Reds lead the Cubs 1-0. And it's left-hander Mike Stanton in for the Reds to face left-handed hitting Jock Jones. Stanton in his 19th year in the big leagues. David Weathers is also ready.
Yeah, Weathers will definitely be used to face Derek Lee. I think Stanton is in this ball game just to face Jock Jones.
That was one swing away from tying it up. Jock turned away, but that breaking ball found the strike zone. Career appearance number 1,116 for Stanton. He's 3 away from John Franco for second on the all-time games pitched list. Jesse Orozco holds the record with over 1,200, 1,252 to be exact.
Well, the reason I say with such certainty that David Weathers will face Derek Lee. Derek Lee 1 for 18 lifetime against David Weathers, and that one base hit came 17 at-bats ago. That's a lot of at-bats against a guy who usually pitches at the end of a ball game, and for the Reds this year, he's their closer, so he pitches as late as you can possibly pitch.
They have 4 saves, and Weathers owns all of them. Meanwhile, 2 strikes on Jock. Stanton from the stretch. Here's a pitch. Bounce past him, but right to the shortstop, Castro. Easy play, 1 out. While we have a moment, let's see what's coming up on WGN.
Get into some serious monkey business with a full hour of funniest pets and people. Weekends at 7 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Well, as Bob theorized, with certainty, Jerry Naren's going to make that change. David Weathers against Derek Lee when we come back.
This is the ultimate indoor RC helicopter. Introducing Reflex from Air Hogs. The new radio-controlled copter with dual thrust propellers for precision control. Forward, backward, up, down, left, and right. Take Reflex places no other copter has gone before. Amazing precision control, indoors and out. Small enough to land in the palm of your hand. Powerful enough to take to the skies. Amazing performance at the touch of your fingertips. You get the Reflex with the dual thrust propellers, the 6-way controller, the AC charger, backup rotors, and the display case. Plus, we'll also include our brand new flight simulator, so you can use it on your PC for even more outrageous fun. And you can get all this for 2 payments of $34.95. It's Reflex from Air Hogs. Must be 18 years or older to call or log on.
To order, call 1-800-618-9859. That's 1-800-618-9859. Must be 18 or older to order.
It's 2-0 on Derek Lee. David Weathers got the save Friday. Derek took a called third in the 6th after Jones had struck out swinging with a couple of men on, but he walks here. So Weathers comes in and does not throw a strike to Derek Lee. Now, Derek has good stolen base speed, but consider David Weathers doesn't take a lot of time to get rid of the ball, and David Ross is 2 for 2 in nailing base stealers this year.
Big hole on that right side of the infield. We've seen Michael Barrett alter his approach in the ball game today against Kyle Loesch. Ground ball through that right side. Cubs would have him on the corners.
Ball one inside, so Weathers 5 straight bad ones. Stanton got Jones on a ground out to start the inning. And then Marin went with the right-hander.
Now David Ross is going to jog out to the mound to have a word with his pitcher. At this point, you play a statue in that batter's box. You have to make David Weathers prove he can throw a strike. Coming in cold from that bullpen, he hasn't been close yet.
I was just going to ask, if you get a bell-tied pitch, you still lay off. One swing could end it.
I think you almost have to.
All right.
I mean, I have a lot of respect for David Weathers, and I know that in a second he can get back in that strike zone, but he's got to prove it to me first. There it is.
There it is. All right, now 2-1. Michael can go back to work.
Still a very favorable count for a hitter. And a count that a lot of managers like to play hit and run, that 2-1 count, figuring that the pitcher doesn't want to go 3-1. Should get a good pitch to hit right here.
Ooh. Big swing. They've just got a piece of it. And it's even.
Well, that 2-1 count is as close to an automatic hit and run count as there is for managers who like to play hit and run when you have the right combination of base runner and batter. You just figure that pitcher does not want to go to 3-1. He's likely to throw a strike in that count. We've seen Doug Eddings go off the outside corner today, but apparently he's not going to go below the knees. This sinker just drops off at the last instant. David Ross tries to pull it up and get the call, but does not get the call.
He's sending him here 3-2.
I think maybe not.
He is running, and Michael pulls it down the left field line, and he hooked it foul. Had the distance.
Just a little bit out in front. Michael knows right away it's not going to stay fair. A hitter knows where you catch that ball out in front of the plate and whether it's going to stay fair or not.
Lee did go on the last pitch. And he's going again high in the air, and Derek sees it as Griffey squeezes the second out. So it'll bring up number 42, Cliff Floyd, with 2 outs and a runner on.
You mentioned Weathers quick to home plate. Ross is a good thrower behind home plate. That's the reason I kind of said maybe you don't run.
Next batter, left fielder Cliff Floyd.
Find yourself in a strike him out, throw him out situation to end the ball game with a hitter like Cliff Floyd in the on-deck circle. And Cliff has been swinging the bat extremely well this homestand.
He's grounded out twice and has popped out to first. 1-0, 2 outs, bottom 9. A man on for the Cubs. The pitch from Weathers. Home run swing and a miss. Well, there have been a lot of misses on both sides. Kyle Loesch with a career-high 12 strikeouts in 8 innings. Ted Lilly with 10. Wirtz and Dempster combined for 3. The 0-1 to Floyd off the outside corner. Kyle Loesch had his fastball working today and was able to spot everything. Josh Hamilton in left is there, and the Reds, who were shut out yesterday 7-0, turn the tables on the Cubs 1-0 to take 2 of 3 in this series. So Kyle Loesch gets his first career win against the team that drafted him in his Wrigley Field debut. Tough loss for Ted Lilly, who went 6 strong, giving up the only run of the game. Jeff Conine with the game-winning RBI. We'll be back 1-0.
What up, Pete?
Yo, I got an idea.
It's time to feel free with Chase Freedom. Feel free to choose points for rewards like travel.
I'm free to do what I want.
Or feel free to choose cash back.
I'm free.
Then feel free to change back again.
In the old time.
Without losing a thing. That's freedom. That's Chase Freedom. Get it free at chase.com/freedom.
Alka-Seltzer, 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 Alka-Seltzer. Blah, blah, fizz, fizz. Ooh, what a relief it is. Pain and indigestion seem to have their way. I've unleashed the beast from the boiled sheets and everything's okay. Blah, blah, fizz, fizz.
Alka-Seltzer. Relief never sounded better.
I don't know what's in it, but it starts working and I'm in it, yeah.
Oh, give it back!
What's going on here?
Josh stole my Kit Kat Blizzard, and he won't give it back!
Josh.
Dad! That's awesome!
Dad!
Sure you don't want to?
Hey!
Hang on to yours. The new Kit Kat Blizzard at Dairy Queen. Real chunks of Kit Kat chocolate bars and our famous DQ soft serve. Do one.
Well, we mentioned the Indians today had 1 hit, and yet they won the game. Well, here, Cincinnati with just 2 hits, but they beat the Cubs, who had 4 on the day. 1-0 the final. Kyle Loesch the winner. Ted Lilly takes the loss. David Weathers with the save. 39,820 watched it. It took just 2 hours and 19 minutes. Today's Budweiser play of the game, the only run scored on the Jeff Conine RBI single. Brandon Phillips was trying to steal 30, just kept coming around.
Well, on a day that Major League Baseball celebrates Jackie Robinson, the Cubs could have used a steal of home. The only opportunity they really had was in the 6th inning with runners at first and third, nobody out. Couldn't push across the run.
Born in America, enjoyed around the world. This is Budweiser, this is beer. Our next telecast of Cubs baseball on WGN Sports Tuesday afternoon should be a fun one. Greg Maddux in a Padres uniform against right-hander Wade Miller. Our 60th year bringing you Cubs baseball on WGN Sports from Wrigley Field. Baseball like it ought to be. Once again, the final today. The Reds won, the Cubs nothing. So for Bob Brenly, Pete Thomas, Skip Ellison, Mark Brady, Bob Borwald, and our entire crew, this is Len Casper inviting you to stay tuned for the Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show coming up next.
Chicago Cubs baseball. Brought to you by Budweiser, born in America and enjoyed around the world. This is Budweiser. This is beer. Your Chicagoland Dodge dealers. The Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play, play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit southwest.com today.
Now, see, when people think of Geico, right, they think of car insurance. And, of course, saving money. But sometimes that can lead even the savviest driver astray. Take, for example, the motorcycle owner. He calls Geico wanted to save money on his car insurance, only to realise that he doesn't actually own a car. Well, needless to say, he's quite embarrassed, isn't he? Doesn't matter. Geico insures motorcycles and ATVs as well. That way, no one ends up looking foolish.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Switch to Valvoline's Max Life, and there's no telling how long your car will keep going. Max Life not only protects against friction, but also leaks, deposits, and sludge, the 4 major causes of high-mileage engine breakdown. Long live your car.
At Sacred Heart Hospital, we treat patients like family.
Giving each individual the kind of personal attention you won't find anywhere else.
Carla!
Our doctors are among the best in the nation.
Clear! I'm alive!
And we're the leading edge in diagnostics.
Either this kid has a light bulb up his butt or his colon has a great idea.
In our home, you don't just get better, you get the best.
And every employee takes pride in his work.
Man, don't making it worth my while.
Scrubs, weeknights at 11:30 on Superstation WGN. America's funniest home videos, weeknights on Superstation WGN.
This is the Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show, brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevrolet dealers.
Well, Ted Lilly, Michael Wirtz, and Ryan Dempster combined on a 2-hitter, but the Cubs still come up on the short end of a 1-0 defeat as the Cincinnati Reds take 2 of 3 in this series, and the Cubs now just 2-4 against the Reds here in the regular season, and offensively just couldn't get anything going. Give Kyle Loesch a lot of credit today, Bob. Had one huge chance, and I guess that's the storyline from the Cubs' perspective, is that 6th inning.
Yeah, you really, I mean, to use a cliche, you have to tip your cap to Kyle Loesch today. He was on top of his game. He had tremendous command of all of his pitches. He saw, once the strike zone got established, he saw where it was going to be and then just took advantage of the Cubs hitters all day long.
How about Ted Lilly today? Maybe his best outing, even though he took the loss.
Well, he was right there with Kyle Loesch. All of his pitches were working well. He got some called strikes on fastballs right down the middle of the plate, which tells you that the Reds were really respecting that big curveball.
So the Cubs will play the San Diego Padres tomorrow night, then Tuesday afternoon. Very quick trip to Atlanta for 2 and then back home against the St. Louis Cardinals. Jackie Robinson Day 2007, great on-field ceremony. Unfortunately, once the game started, the Cubs couldn't get it going offensively as they lose 1-0. More to come in a moment.
The battle is heating up. Ooh, you're in trouble. It's Moesha versus Stepmom.
You can't tell me what to do.
Excuse me, what'd you just say?
She said, you can't tell me what to do. Just when you thought it was safe in the suburbs, the party's over.
You are grounded.
Or is it?
They haven't built the stepmother that can keep me on lockdown.
It's the very first Moesha.
Tomorrow at 4 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Get your temperature rising. Late nights on Superstation WGN. First, join the fabulous foursome of Sex and the City. Then make an appointment with the doctors that have some serious bedside manner. Be sure to follow up with Becker, the doctor who has, well, a way with his patients. Catch the Beaver, weeknights, Sex and the City at 11, followed by Scrubs at 11:30, then Becker at 12:30. Late nights on Superstation WGN. It's great to be home.
This new fridge has a touchscreen. I get internet, TV. The coolest part of it is when it's out of Bud Light, it refills itself.
How does it do that?
I don't know.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
I don't know how it does it. And I don't care.
On the next Sex and the City.
You're Carrie Bradshaw.
Yeah.
I went out with Aiden right after you.
It was a hit and run. No. It was a face and run. Like, wow, was he messed up?
Yeah, that ain't good.
Why do we believe our worst reviews?
This is Carrie Bradshaw.
Carrie Bradshaw, really?
Heather Graham guest stars on the next Sex and the City. Tonight at 11 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Please welcome Derek Lee.
Thank you. On behalf of the Cubs organization, we just want to say this is an unbelievable day and a tremendous honor for us to be able to put the number 42 on our back. Jackie Robinson is an American hero, and our day is today to celebrate that and learn as much as we can about Jackie Robinson, because he's a true American hero, and we need to learn as much as we can about him. So thank you for joining us in this celebration. Thank you.
That's Derek Lee before the ball game. And again, the idea to wear number 42 came from Ken Griffey Jr. and Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig then opened that invitation to the rest of baseball. Several teams wore number 42 today, and a fitting tribute for, as Derek said, an American hero.
He really was an American hero, and a lot of credit also has to go to Branch Rickey, who had the courage as well to make Jackie Robinson the first African-American player. And it was just unfortunate that because of the weather, some of the games around baseball were canceled today, but the celebration tonight at Dodger Stadium should really be special.
So the Padres are the opponent tonight in Los Angeles. They'll get in really late or early in the morning, depending on your perspective, as they get set for night baseball here at Wrigley tomorrow. Grounds crew getting ready for that game. We'll have a final word as the Cubs drop a 1-0 decision in a moment.
The Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show is brought to you in part by Culver's Restaurants, home of butter burgers and fresh frozen custard.
Chicks. Dig.
It's awfully hot in here.
Becker.
I know you're attracted to me.
Ew.
He's smooth and sophisticated.
Listen to me. Follow my lead.
I had a sex change operation.
Holy crap.
Someone has been working out.
Becker. Watch him operate 5 nights a week.
Late nights on Superstation WGN.
Okay, I've been working on this plan for 3 years, and today's the day.
Okay.
Every Friday, the same Bud Light delivery guy takes the same route past us.
Okay.
You're the only one who can make the leap.
Okay.
When I say go, you jump over, grab some Bud Light, and jump back.
Okay.
Okay, here he comes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and go.
What'd you say? Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Seriously, what'd you say?
Switch to Valvoline's Max Life, and there's no telling how long your car will keep going. Max Life not only protects against friction, but also leaks, deposits, and sludge, the 4 major causes of high-mileage engine breakdown. Long live your car.
How do we do the soup, salad, and breadsticks lunch at Olive Garden? We start with a salad, then pass around the breadsticks, and finish with the perfect bite.
Our unlimited fresh salad, homemade soup, and warm breadsticks lunch, just $5.95, only at Olive Garden.
The Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show has been brought to you in part by Culver's Restaurants, home of butter burgers and fresh frozen custard.
Again, the final today, Cincinnati won, the Cubs nothing, and we're going to check on the sweet plays of the game. Not so much defense, because the pitchers didn't need a whole lot of defense today.
Ted Lilly was his own defense out there on the mound today, had it all working, just pounding both sides of the plate with fastballs, mixed in some straight changeups, some overhand curves. He was great today. Very sweet.
Sweet plays of the game. Thank you, Culver's 10 strikeouts for the Cubs left-hander today. Unfortunately, it ends up in a loss as Ted Lilly loses. Kyle Loesch getting the win, his first career win against the Cubs. He was a 29th round draft pick back in 1996. Well, it's not going to get a lot easier for the bats because the Padres come in, they pitch very well, and they come in with an outstanding bullpen.
Their pitching staff has a 2.76 ERA going into play tonight, and they've only made 3 errors defensively. So this is a ball club that wins the old-fashioned way, good pitching and good defense.
And we keep saying that this offense is going to heat up. We saw some small ball yesterday, and you kind of have to change up it a little bit, and Lou has really been forced to do that with Ramirez out, and Ryan Theriot today had 3 big hits.
You know, there's certainly some cause for consternation, for hand-wringing, because the offense hasn't done what everybody expected them to do. A lot of that has to do with the weather, but the good news is the pitching has been really good up to this point, especially some of those guys down in the bullpen. Ted Lilly's been good. Jason Marquis been outstanding. Rich Hill is off the charts good. So when the bats do start to heat up, hopefully it'll all come together.
Lou said yesterday it's really 10, 16-game schedules. The Cubs have now played 11 times. They're 3 games under 500, so they have 5 to get over 500 for them.
Well, they can do that. They're going to have to start swinging the bats or manufacture runs, something they've shown the ability to do, and they're going to have to do it in a hurry.
All right, we'll be back with you here on WGN Sports Tuesday afternoon. The award-winning leadoff man gets underway at 1 o'clock. Central Time as the Cubs host the Padres in the finale of that quick 2-game series. And once again, our final score from Wrigley today. The Cincinnati Reds won, the Cubs nothing. So for our entire crew, Len Casper saying so long from the friendly confines. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. The final, the Reds won, the Cubs nothing. We'll see you Tuesday right here on WGN.